Smoke hash. Where? Left music off of this so that we could freestyle for 2 minutes every time.
And where is the Martian?
Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch a Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And this is the Snyder Cut stream, you sluts.
Let's get ready to... Oh, yeah. Can we cuss yet?
Yeah, we can cuss now.
Fuck yeah.
Woo!
Let's get ready to fuck yeah and celebrate, guys.
Wieners.
Holy shitholes.
Wieners for everyone.
What a shitty overhyped movie that was, huh?
Yeah, it sucked.
God, I can't believe Hack Snyder was allowed to make a movie.
It sucked worse than your dad.
Not! He was so good. He was so good.
I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday. It's been a good Monday. It's nice outside. It's pretty as
really
fuck, man. It's so pretty.
I feel like Superman in the black suit. You just open up your arms to get that sunlight. Get that sunlight all up in you.
Hey, you got a fresh cut going on there, man. I got a haircut too. You can't tell.
I came back from the dead. Yeah, man. Holy shit. Yeah, what a fucking nice day. What a wonderful film. Being here with all you sexy, fucking crazy good people. Can't wait to talk about it.
It is time to restore the Snyderverse.
By the way, I want to point out real quick to go give some love to Vanessa Morano. She shared a post today too. It was perfect. She said they're like, you know, it showed a meme and it was DC's or Warner Media saying there will be no Justice League 2, and it showed Darkseid underneath of it. It's like assemble the hashtags. We will do things the old way. That's so perfect.
Perfect, dude. Something I read today was interesting when I was looking up stuff about the future of it. There was an article from like years ago, and Kevin Smith actually said, like, if you wonder whether or not to believe Kevin Smith's scoops, this will tell you to. It was this old article from like 3 years ago, and it was like Kevin Smith details on what would have happened at the end of Snyder's cut rather than Whedon's cut because he saw it, and he says it's spot on. He was like, at the end of, and by the way, guys, this is spoilers. So,
yep.
But he said at the end of Snyder's original cut, he said there's a scene where Darkseid comes up and he's looking through like the portal or whatever at the Justice League after they kill Steppenwolf, and there's like a standoff, and I was like, dude, that's exactly what fucking happened. Good for Kevin Smith.
Yeah, he was right on that. Yeah, man. Well, that, like, the first and foremost thing, like, as far as, like, again, these are spoilers, so we know that going forward. I love the fact that Ray Fisher's complete performance was restored, and the relationship between him and his dad, Silas Stone, was actually concreted. And that was I mean, he was the heart of the movie, and Zack Snyder had said that in multiple interviews, and you finally got to see it. And I love the first flight sequence with him. Like, you got to see so much more with Cyborg coming to grips in terms with what he was. And again, we mentioned it in the non-spoiler review. There's a lot of echoes in Man of Steel when Superman starts believing in himself and does the first flight when he jumps up in the air in Antarctic. And he flies for the first time when Cyborg's on the rooftop and he's learning how to fly. holy shit, man.
Yeah.
And then the whole, and he was a lot more believable as somebody that really hated his fucking lot in life when he confronts Diana and he's like, fuck the world. Like, I mean, it was like, I was like, yes, fuck the world. And fuck you too, hot, sexy Amazon. I'm not coming on your special fighting group.
Fuck the world, feed its beans. It's gassed up if it's thinking stopping me. Yeah, dude. That may be the biggest difference from the two movies overall is the Cyborg thing. I mean, he literally gave him a presence in the goddamn movie. We'll talk about everything, but that flight scene specifically, what I loved about it is that he cracks a fucking smile. It's like the first time that you see him actually smile, and it's even like a half smile. Like he's still so sad and fucked up about everything going on, but when he's flying and he gets up there, he's like, oh fuck, this is actually pretty goddamn cool. Right before the face mask comes down. And
that, we never got to see that in the Joss Whedon cut ever. Like when the mask comes, and all that shit, and didn't get to see that. And I loved when also they explain how we're at like basically his mercy, like and the way they showed like how he's jacked into everything and it doesn't matter. Like that motherfucker is bypassing your VPN. It doesn't matter what you got. And like, I love it. And the monetary, like that almost made me cry when he gives that lady more money. When he goes into our monetary systems and he sees her struggles and stuff. And then that's so fucking cool, man.
Dude, that would be the best like Surfshark VPN ad of all time. If they went back and they took that scene and Snyder and like he's doing all this shit and you hear his dad like, you can throw missiles without a second thought. And then all of a sudden he goes to crack into the system and it's like Surfshark VPN has blocked you or whatever. Well, that's not even what it does, but you know what I mean? It's like, or Snyder turned towards the camera. He's like, and they can't catch me because I've got Surfshark VPN. Booyah.
Well, I mean, Ray Fisher is having some trouble with maybe you can do that, like you can do Game Shark or VPN, whatever it is, like you can do a commercial for them. But no, dude, on top of that, you also got to see him playing football, which was great. That established the backstory of him a lot more, and it showed him crying and having that conversation with his mom. See, like I don't, and again, I don't want to make this like let's pile on to Joss Whedon and just butt fuck his ear to hatred. It's just what frustrates me is the fact that he can look at this and just be like, I'm gonna cut that out, and then it'll be good. Like I don't understand. It didn't even make fucking sense. His version didn't even make sense half the time.
It didn't, dude. And there's people who will say, and I agree with you. We'll try not to do this too much, but it has to be mentioned, especially when you talk about Cyborg and Ray Fisher because of the specific problems he had with Whedon. But the detractors to that, like, why would you take these great scenes out of a movie unless you just wanted the movie to suck? The detractors to that idea, which is a crazy idea, I know, but they'll say that, well, it's WB. WB told him it had to be 2 hours long, so he had no choice but to cut those scenes out. But to that, I say this: he filmed. Then why did he film a bunch of extra shit? And the shit that he filmed didn't actually add anything to the movie. The entire Batman on the rooftop scene when he's fighting Holt McClaney. I love Holt McClaney, and it's not a bad scene by any means, but it doesn't add anything to the story. It's like 10 or 15 minutes. The Russian family added. No, that was garbage juice. That
why didn't go anywhere.
Texas. You film that, you spent the resources to film that and put that in the film, and then you know what, maybe it's not that he was trying to tank the movie, but he was like, the only way I'm doing this, if I come in, I want to add big scenes to the movie. And then he's already got 4 hours worth of footage to work with, but he's so egotistical, even though this director just left because of a family tragedy, he's going to take out the best parts of his film to add in some shit that makes no sense. Specifically the part you mentioned, not only the football part, which was fucking amazing, that was so cool. By the way, they were playing Wisconsin, which I thought was kind of a neat touch. But like you said, when they're in the car and he's crying, dude, that scene is heartbreaking. It's fucking heartbreaking. Why would you take it out?
Joss Whedon is an okay filmmaker. That's all I'm saying. He's okay. He did great with the Avengers, but anything, I mean, and Buffy, whatever, if you like that kind of stuff, and Firefly. Other than that, like he proved with Age of Ultron, like he just couldn't capture it. Like whatever the magic in the lightning in the bottle that he did with Avengers, he couldn't recapture it. He was always pissed about that. That's been confirmed by not only Ray Fisher, but a lot of other people that were on the set with him. He walked around like fucking Dr. Evil bouncing the world ball. Like, you want to be daddy? And then throwing it at people and be like, come on, take the ball from me. Take the ball. You want to be daddy? He was like that. And he didn't want to listen to anybody's idea. And the fact is, Warner Brothers lied about it. They said that Zack Snyder chose Joss Whedon. That was a complete lie. Yeah. Then they said that he was only gonna, finish the whatever Snyder had done. He filmed 75% new scenes, and the 25% of Zack Snyder's, he meddled with it to a point where it was unrecognizable. So that tells me right there that Joss Whedon had no intention of keeping the original vision intact at all. And whether or not you believe that he had to cut it down for 2 hours to make it, I don't know. I mean, I still think there was some kind of weird things going on behind the scenes with Marvel, and maybe he was just like, I'm going to clip them clip their wings, DC, before they get up off the ground. But I do know that Warner Media they were stumbling and falling to suck that Marvel cherry flavored pop dick. Before, like they were rushing it as quick as they could get it out. That's why you had the forced humor that was it was unfunny, and that was across the board, just unfunny. You had the plastic versions of these characters that were just bang, like you might as well put George Clooney and the bat nipples in the motherfucker.
Yeah,
like it was that corny, and it was like, oh, it's obviously a merchandising ploy. They want to sell the tickets, and then they're like, oh well, Marvel's doing it, so they have great success. Fuck Snyder, we need to have Joss Whedon over here and do the same thing.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. Again, any other competent director looks at that, like, or an amateur director, and says, "Hey, this is a great fucking movie. I don't have to do a lot."
Exactly.
But he comes in there and he fires the composer. I like Danny Elfman, but he hires Danny Elfman. He rewrites these garbage, fucking awful plot lines that literally have nothing to do with it. It doesn't flow.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And again, I'm not hating on the guy necessarily. I'm saying like he is a decent director, but I mean, as far as this concerned, there is no doubt in my mind that this was a fuck up on epic proportions by not just him but Warner Media.
Yeah, and you know, in short too, you got to wonder if the Avengers, because like I love the Avengers, like I as much as I love the fucking Snyder Cut, honestly, like I had such a blast watching the Avengers for the first time. I might even put the original Avengers even above it as much as I love it. That being said, I wonder if it's not one of those cases of you're not the best, you were just the first. Like Whedon had a chance to be the first person to put all these superheroes at once on screen together, sans the X-Men, but from different worlds. That the scene like you talk about from New York when they're all lined up, the Avengers had such great moments like that. I wonder if it's not a case of we all thought it was Whedon, but maybe Whedon just had the best tools and he was the first one to do it. So that's why that movie worked, and then his follow-ups clearly did not work.
And I'm not taking nothing away from Joss Whedon for what he did with the Avengers, but I'll say this. It was a complete collaborative effort that made the Avengers such a monumental movie. I mean, they had already established each of these characters and had their own movies, their own backgrounds, their own tales were told. So he didn't have to worry about that. Now, I'm not saying it was an easy job to bring them all together and make sure everybody's got the appropriate amount of screen time. He did a great job doing that. But technically the hard work was already done. He doesn't have to you don't have to know who Thor is. You don't have to know who Captain America is. You don't have to know any of these people. You just see them come together, and it was a labor of love by a lot of people. Zack Snyder came in there. He had help, obviously he had other people helping him write, but it was his fucking vision. Yeah. And he did a phenomenal job. And yeah, I mean, it's like there's people going overboard with this. They're saying, Zack Snyder's Justice League is the greatest comic movie of all time. And that's fine if you feel that way. I don't think it is. It's up there. It's in my top 5, no doubt. Definitely. But I would still put Endgame maybe above it.
I would. I'd put it.
Justice League Justice League for me would be number 3. I mean, I think the greatest superhero movie of all time is maybe Logan. I don't know, but I would put Endgame above it for sure.
As much as I love it, dude, I would probably put Logan. I'd probably put The Dark Knight above it. I'd probably put Endgame, and I'd probably put the original Avengers against it. And honestly, yeah, I'd also put X-Men. X-Men Days of Future Past above it too, but that's still, it's like my 5th favorite comic book movie of all time. You compare that to a movie that sucked, and it's like, wow.
I really was gonna go back and watch. I finished watching Zack Snyder's Justice League again tonight. It's my 3rd time. I was gonna go back and watch the Joss Whedon cut to maybe get some more differences. I can't stomach to watch.
I can't bring myself to do it.
It's so nasty. It's like going back and intentionally getting your dick got athlete's foot on it. Like you're intentionally sticking your dick into athlete
whiz on the electric fence.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't do it. I mean, I know that the movie is so different. I mean, the very beginning of the movie opens up with that shot with Doomsday and then him screaming and waking the mother boxes up. Right away, you're like, holy shit, it's taking place right after BVS and it's continuing that story.
Hold that thought too, because I don't want to lose these super chats, but we can start at the beginning and kind of move our way up, because we got to talk about that beginning. It sets the tone. God damn it, it sets the fucking tone, man.
I felt like Billy Gillespie, a former UK basketball player, when that opening scene has like, shoot it! Zach! Shoot it! Do it, Zach!
Bernardo Guzman Jr., thanks, buddy. He says the Snyder Cut was phenomenal. The third act was epic and heartbreaking. The best film of the year. You know what? I do think it may be the best film I've seen this year.
Right now it is.
For me. Gypsy Warrior, thanks, buddy. He says, WB have really angered me tonight. We can't give in. Hashtag release the air cut. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Glad I have you guys to cheer me up. We will talk about all that, dude, because a lot of fucking a lot of nut kicking happened today in the world of Warner Brothers, and we can start with that. There's also Oh, dude, Ken, thank you so much, brother. Really appreciate that, man. Ken with the huge super sat says, hashtag restore the Snyderverse. How dare WB not want to continue the story after Zack Snyders Justice League looking like a legit hit for DC? Need to see the Justice League take on Darkseid. Love you guys and keep up the awesome work on the channel.
Hey,
dude,
thanks so much, man.
Thank you, man. We fucking love you, buddy. So we'll let Ken kick it off into that conversation because that's fucking... Today... the lady from Warner Brothers, I don't remember her name, but somebody,
I just read that. Yeah. Yeah. Shut your fucking hole. That's what you wanted to say. You know what? You go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna lay the foundation for it. Came out and said in an interview, they were like, "Oh no, we're really happy that Zack got his movie out, but we're really happy with what we got going forward. We got Blue Beetle." And we're gonna keep doing the vision that we have, which is attempting to copy Marvel, and we're gonna also do Blue Beetle. So we're good. We're appreciative, but thank you. We're not gonna all but saying we're not doing shit else with Zack Snyder's movies. And then right after that, when it came to the Ayer cut, it was a hard dick no. It was we have no plans.
We're
not doing it.
I'm telling you, despite what she said, I just think that she's doing the corporate lingo. I really truly believe, I honestly do believe that they are discussing things with Zack Snyder. I don't know to what extent, but I have no doubt, dude, the numbers are rolling in worldwide. This thing is fucking doing amazing. It's making them money hand over fist right now. They know that. They're gauging. That's what they're doing right now. Any normal corporation or company that wants to make money, they're gauging. So they're going to figure out what's happening first. And then but I guarantee you, they've already had discussion with Zack Snyder. The thing about Zack Snyder is Zack Snyder also pointed out the fact that he was like, look, what was more likely? The fact that a studio was going to give me $70 million to complete a movie that I started in 2017, or would they just greenlight me a new Justice League 2? I mean, I think the obvious choice would be like, they're just going to give me a new movie, but it wasn't that way. So he's like, I never rule out any possibilities at this point, which is 100% accurate. Mm-hmm. And the fact that, dude, again, HBO is a company, they're a business, and that's what they want to do is make money. And they want to keep the goodwill of the fans in a lot of ways. They want to keep you fucking happy because they understand the power of the fans at this point. They're talking to Zack Snyder. Now, whether or not I think their DCEU, and I know they've already come out and said that the Joss shithole Whedon cut of the film is canon, but regardless, I think that they could do Zack Snyder's universe in a separate universe, like, you know what I'm saying, like an Elseworld type of story. They continue his vision. They would obviously have to recast Wonder Woman. It's a lot of work, but I think they could do it. I don't think it's done yet, dude. I really don't. I think in a couple of years, you might hear some rumors about them doing something. Now, what I do think is not going to happen. You're not obviously going to get Ray Fisher, unfortunately, anymore. Never going to happen. There's no way. And then Ben Affleck is done. He doesn't want to come back. And now there's even rumors about Michael Keaton maybe not even wanting to reprising his role as Batman.
I saw that today, too. Keaton was just like backtracking like a motherfucker. He was like, well, I said I would do it. And then I'm pretty busy. I'm working a lot. I got a lot going on. But I need to find out what happens with, really, it's actually COVID. Actually, COVID's the reason I'm thinking about not doing it. But I have to read the script, but I'm too busy working to read the new thing. But also COVID, I don't know. Like he really seemed like, I don't know if that's like a contract negotiation that's ongoing.
That's what I literally was saying. I think it's straight up a contract negotiation. It reminded me of that Beetlejuice scene where he was like, that's why I don't do 2 shows a week anymore. I just won't do it.
Yeah, that could be it.
I don't know. It's like, and the fact it is stupid of them. I'm not saying that Warner Media is going to absolutely do that with Zack Snyder. And if they are going to stick to their guns and fucking say, no, we're not doing it, I don't care. Somebody actually commented today and they're like, will somebody please take the gun away from Warner Brothers? Cause they're shooting their own fucking foot off. Like, because it's like, I don't like the thing about these corporate people is they live in such a bubble. I don't know who the fuck like gives them the information about what's going on and keeps the pulse of the fans going. It must be goddamn Roger Rabbit. He's just drunk on fucking like alcohol and snorted up cocaine. He's like, the fans love the Joss Whedon cut. And they're like, yep, that guy knows exactly what they're talking about. And then they just continue on. And I have seen things about people saying that we fans bullied Warner Brothers to get our version and that we're pieces of shit. I was like, yeah, a multi-billion-dollar company said we bullied them and they gave in. No, they wanted to make money and they realized the only way to make money, good business practices, is to give the fans what they fucking wanted. And guess what? They're making money. You can't bully a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They'll just give you the finger and say, sit and spin, dude.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to say it. This is the situation right now. not just like original Snyder Cut fans, not just the original release the Snyder Cut people, but everyone seeing, like, not every single person, but the majority of people seeing this fucking movie. Oh, the people that said it would never happen, they're in a fucking cave right now.
Yeah.
But everybody else, the people that are in between who watch this movie and are enjoying it and are saying, you know what, I never thought I'd say this, but I want to see where this fucking goes. And we'll talk about the spoilers and why they want to see that later. I want to see where this goes. Let's restore the Snyderverse. Yeah. Everyone's saying that. The problem with Warner Brothers is Warner Brothers finally, they had a hit with Joker. Finally, the Wonder Woman was the initial hit, but that was pretty, it was pretty standard or whatever. They had a hit with Joker. Weird, strange place that they took that character. Now you have a hit with Justice League. Warner Brothers has in Zack. If they would have just released the goddamn movie he fucking made and not tried to fuck with stuff so bad, they've had it for years. They fucking shot themselves in the foot by trying to do too much because they wanted to fucking copy Marvel so goddamn bad, despite so many people like us saying, just let him do his thing. Let this be different from Marvel. The movie comes out now, and it's everything Warner Brothers and DC has ever wanted. It's a widely accepted 97% audience score. Widely accepted, widely loved.
8.5 on IMDb.
Fucking insanely successful film. It's exactly what they've been trying and failing to do all these goddamn years. And what does Warner Brothers do with this goddamn Easter basket of a gift? They say, no, we're gonna make Blue Beetle. What the fuck are you doing with your goddamn company? Like,
Wet Willie time. That's what they do. Wet Willie. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I think that if anything else, this has proved beyond a shadow of doubt that fans know what they want, and thank God that there was a lot of fans out there that got this movie going. And by the way, everybody did a great job because they also raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for suicide prevention, which was also these assholes that come out and say we all bullied this company, this multi-billion-dollar company, mind you, into fucking getting what we wanted. That they forget to mention that it was for a good cause too. There was $100,000+ raised for suicide awareness. Yeah. And then on top of that, if you want to spin that bitch and shoot it right back into your face, there was a hashtag boycott Sony when Spider-Man wasn't going to be a part of the MCU anymore. And guess what? Disney relented and made a deal with Sony. So did you bully Disney? Did you bully Sony?
Hey, I got an even better one for you, dude. If Warner Brothers had a goddamn lick of sense, and I don't mean the whole company because they do some good things, but whoever's making these awful, terrible goddamn decisions, if they had one lick of business sense, if they had one lick of sense at all they would do, it's so simple. All they would have to do, man, is jump in front of it. Don't let Restore the Snyderverse hashtag start. Don't let people force you to do the right thing. Jump out ahead of it, come out right now and go, you know what? We're going to do whatever it takes. We're going to get Snyder on board. We're going to try to get Affleck on board. We're going to try to jump ahead of it. We're going to try to control and own the narrative, and we're going to take this thing by the horns instead of letting the fans tell us what to do this time, like they did with the extended cut of Batman vs. Superman, like they did with Zack Snyders Justice League. If that company had any nutsack whatsoever, they would come out and say, no, we're not even going to let the hashtag Restore the Snyderverse thing start this time. We're going to do it. We're going to do the right thing on our own, and we're going to take this thing to the next level, hyper fucking speed. And then they look good. They look smart. But no, we're doing this.
I don't know, man. Again, I think it goes back to the fact that these Warner Brother executives are a bunch of old crusty white men that live inside of a bubble and smoke pipes in their pajamas. They don't fucking know about shit. They don't know about shit. They don't watch the internet. That sounds like a burrito. Can I get one? Like, they don't even know what they have no idea. They get people that tell them the good news. Go tell it on the mountain. These yes men that come in and everything they're doing is correct because that's what they want to surround themselves with is yes men. They don't have anybody with any balls to tell them, hey, you fucking crotchety ass old men that look like the Orville Redenbacher guy. It's not working your way. Like, they don't have anybody to do that. So obviously we're going to stay in this rut. And another thing is, and I get it, man, it's their money. And they don't want someone to tell them what the fuck to do. And I guess if they were to restore the Snyderverse, which I hope to God it happens, but in doing so, it really it sends a shockwave, just like Superman dying, and this shockwave going across the world that, hey, guess what? The fans know what they want, and they just told you to do what the fuck they want you to do with their money, and they're not gonna. They're like, no, I'm not doing that. Fuck that.
Dude, it's like coming to a crossroads. Take a right, and fucking get everything right. Take a left and fuck everything up. And Warner Brothers is like, left all day, baby. I don't trust that fucking sign. It's like, Jesus. It's so obvious what they should do.
And again, I get it, man. Like, they have an idea and a vision for their universe, and they want to go there with it. And I understand. And, they took a crapshoot with Joss Whedon, and they lost. And that's what happens. But it's not too late to fix it. Like, that's my point. They've already shown Zack Snyder can do it. And Zack Snyder, I think, would be more, even though I know he came out and said he's done making comic book movies for a while, but I don't think that's true. I think he was just saying that to kind of calm things down.
Yeah.
I think he would be a great visionary. He's got a great vision in place for where he wants to take this DC universe. And again, they've only made one shitty movie. I mean, not great, but they made one really bad movie with Joss Whedon's Justice League. They could stop right now and be like, hey man, give Zack Snyder the money and let him have the creative control and let him fucking work. I mean, they already hired the director for Flashpoint.
Yeah. No, and dude, they've been proven twice now. They've been proven twice. If you just let Snyder tell the story he was trying to tell in the first goddamn place. You get the extended cut of Batman vs Superman, much more beloved by everybody. And then this is that times 10. I just don't know how many times you can go back and do the same stupid shit over and over and over again and not understand that you're doing it all wrong. You're doing it all wrong.
I never understood. And honestly, just looking again, I'm going to go back. And again, I'm not taking a dump in his Cheerios. I'm really not. I know it sounds like I'm going to treat him the way that he treats his actresses and call him fat and ugly and shit. And he needs to lose weight, Joss Whedon. But I'm not trying to be that way to him. I'm just saying, like, the fact that you made the Flash an incompetent moron, a buffoon that doesn't know what the fuck to do, gives out corny jokes like left and right. What's brunch? I want to know what brunch is. Can we race? Can we race Superman? Whoa, that's stupid. Then you make the whole the Superman. I'm a firm believer in truth and justice. Boom. And then you make Batman a whiny puss too. That's like, I never said I didn't like you, dude. I'm just saying, dude. Like, what the fuck kind of anal beads did you use in the morning when you shot your Justice League? It really does. It's one of those things. It's a bigger mystery than a goddamn hieroglyphic that Indiana Jones is trying to figure out. Like, you'll never know.
What they did was for sports fans, they did what the Lions did with Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia was under the tutelage of Bill Belichick for so many goddamn years, so they hired him and said, hey man, take this. We just want to be the Patriots. We have no identity whatsoever. DC said that to Marvel basically. They said, we have no identity whatsoever. We don't even like the cool shit they're doing over here.
By the way, I meant to. I'm sorry, Ryder. You're right. I didn't mention that. Yeah, you're gonna have. I enjoyed it, but I understand it was a bad movie, Suicide Squad. But I kind of liked it. It was a corny ass movie, but I liked it anyway. And I mean, the David Ayer cut. But by the way, could we just talk real quick about how the fuck Zack Snyder saved Jared Leto's Joker's performance? Like,
I mean, that's a whole.
I know. I want to.
I just want to finish my thought that I was trying to. The thing is like, they hired Matt Patricia for the Lions, and he sucked. DC did the same thing. They hired Josh Whedon when Kevin Feige was the fucking Marvel. He was the one that was the mastermind behind it all. And then it's basically another football analogy. It's the opposite of what happened when Tom Brady left the Patriots, went and won a Super Bowl. Josh Whedon went and left Marvel, and he made that. And then Kevin Feige's back here, like, still doing Marvel shit.
I think it's I don't. The only analogy sports wise I could say it's like saying that when Michael Jordan became a golfer, it was a great idea. It's like,
baseball player
baseball player, whatever. I was like, yeah. Well, I know, but I was like, when he became a baseball player, god damn, he should have just done that and not basketball. That's how Warner Brothers thinks. But anyway, I don't want.
It's pretty good goddamn analogy. Let me get super chats real quick, and then you want to just go straight into the epilogue when we get with the spoilers. Just go. Straight into the big shit?
That's the only one that was filmed like additional sequence. So
okay, yeah. Sea Monster Essay says James Wan also said his Aquaman movie is set in canon with the Snyder Cut more so than the theatrical, and Aquaman was a huge hit. Think about it. Same thing. I don't love the Aquaman movie. I don't love it at all. And some of the stuff in Atlantis is some of my least favorite stuff about the Snyder Cut. But apart from that, it's so simple that you can't be like, oh, well, we said this was canon, so we're fucked. We can't do this great, big, fucking amazing thing that's one of the most ambitious things we've ever seen in goddamn superhero history. We can't do that because, fucking the first Justice League movie. The very simple way to fix the whole canon issue is very fucking simple. Go ahead and do your fucking Blue Beetle movie. Go ahead and do a fucking Joker sequel. Do the Flash movie. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. We all are very capable of understanding that if Snyder continues his universe, you got Justice League 2, Justice League 3, maybe at best we've got a Batman spin-off series.
And the Knightmare movie maybe.
Which would be technically Justice League 3, right? Because that's the culmination of it. Justice League 3 being the culmination, you have either one or two spin-off movies in there, or you do a Batman series where where you explain what happened with the Joker and you explain Deathstroke. You do those things and you keep them separate, and then on the outskirts you can do whatever you want to with your DC version. Just give Zack fucking Snyder a shit ton of money and let him do his fucking thing over here. We get
That's
it.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That it's tricky. It's tricky. I know. Run DMC. Let's play it. But it's tricky. But yeah, you could keep the Snyderverse intact, and you could do your own. Like again, they told Zack Snyder pretty much, it's a cul-de-sac, man. We're not going to promote it. This is on you. It's a cul-de-sac. It's going to be here. That's your trilogy. That's it. That's what we're giving you, and that's the end of the story. The DCEU, the Justice League of that is the canon Joss Whedon. Now, the elsewhere world that they're talking about, again, you could continue the Snyderverse into that particular world, but I feel like what Warner Brothers is thinking to themselves is like, we don't want to compete with ourselves. Like, what if the Snyderverse is so much better than their actual canonized version of their? That's
exactly
what's scary
why
for
they won't fucking do it.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I get why, because it's like having your two favorite toys and bashing the fuck out of them with each other. You're like, I don't care. So they don't want to do that. They don't want to compete a market where they have to compete with each other.
But be a fucking man, take the L, and accept the huge bags of cash you're going to get out of it. You know what I mean? Like, I was wrong.
Honestly,
fuck it.
What I would do again, if I had their money and I had any kind of controlling interest in Warner Brothers, I would say we made a really bad fucking mistake with Joss Whedon. Let's go ahead and restore the Snyderverse and continue on from the vision that he had with the original trilogy, and then just fuck it, because we know we're gonna make the money, and you'd be the most popular movie studio, period. Like, they'd be like, man, Warner Brother gets it, man. They're on board with the fans. They understand. And Disney and all those people, guess what? You might set a trend, and they might be like, maybe we should listen to our fans more. That's crazy, I know, but maybe our fans know what they want.
Warner Brothers has literally everything sitting in front of them right now that they've ever fucking wanted. If Warner Brothers' entire plan as a company was to get into Willy Wonka's fucking chocolate factory, they are holding a golden fucking ticket to the chocolate factory.
They got 4 golden tickets.
They're going, now find a better way in.
And they got so many golden tickets. They got 1 to get in and 3 to sell on eBay.
It's fucking. I mean, this is everything they've ever wanted. They've wanted to be widely accepted. They've wanted critics to love them. They've wanted to have the far-scoping world and the amazing ideas and the forethought that Marvel has. What happened in that epilogue provided all of that for them. And what's happening with the reception to this movie provided all that for them. They fucking been given the golden ticket that they were begging for, and they don't want it.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what. I'll
stop yelling.
I thought the Flashpoint movie, if they kept Zack Snyder's vision, I thought that this is what I thought initially what was going to happen, or what I could picture Zack Snyder doing. It would be fucking cool as fuck, though, honestly. In Flashpoint, the Flash goes back in time to save his mom. He creates a parallel universe. He fucks things up. You bring the Knightmare sequence in. So, like, at the very beginning of the movie, like, I would say 3/4 of it, it's the Flash's movie, right? Like, you get like little bits of other superheroes in it, but it's all his movie. Toward the end of it, like right before the parallel universe becomes the Knightmare sequence that we see, and then he's trying to fix it, and that leads into maybe Justice League 2 or 3 or whatever. Like, you could do a whole movie then set in the Knightmare world. God damn, that would be so cool. And how about this? If you don't want Snyder to have his Snyderverse, bring him back and make a fucking Injustice movie with him at the helm.
The goddamn guy who created the Injustice game said, he tweeted, the guy who created Injustice, the game, came out and he tweeted, he said, I think that Zack Snyder should name the second film Zack Snyder's Injustice.
I would love it. What would I wish it's like Clown, John Leguizamo's Clown from Spawn. When you're sitting in their office, like they're sitting behind the desk and you're talking to Warner Brothers, they're like, how? It's like, why do you people always ask how? Why is so much better? Or something like that. Like, it's such a home run hit. If you do Zack Snyder's Injustice, I'll tell you, dude, you're talking about, you will shit out $100 bills for 3 years. Like, it will just be pooping and raining hundreds for you and your company. If that's what you did. And you know what? You'd give the fans what they wanted. You'd give more Zack Snyder in DC, and he gets to explore these characters in an alternate way. And then you can keep your shit Whedon continuation. But they won't do it.
I don't even think it would be continuing the shit Whedon version. It would just be outside films. Like I said, the Blue Beetle film, which is cool because I understand that you do get a Latino superhero, and there's a lot of people who want to see that.
Blue Beetle's cool though.
Right. And like, do that. Like, fucking do that. I'm not shitting on that movie. Like, do that and do all these ideas that you have. Do them. But dude, you don't need to, like, what everyone's asked for and what's been proven is that you don't need to babysit Snyder. And you should give him a fucking gigantic bag of money. You should, to get him back. Because some people might say, hey, Zack Snyder might not want. Zack Snyder's literally came out and basically said, no, I'll do it, but they're going to come to me. I mean, that's what I hear when I hear him talk. So, you know, they give him the money, let him do it, and then you do your own thing.
Well, yeah, and I know we already know that, you know, Warner Brothers already came out and they canonized Justice League, the theatrical cut. So we already know that. Like, that's fine if that's what they're gonna do. But you can still give Zack Snyder back his universe, or let him play around in the DC, you know, universe on in a separate reality, an elsewhere kind of film or whatever. Or like, you know, remember that thing they were talking about coming out with a DC Black label, like for their films, where it was gonna be a lot edgier and rated R versions of these characters. Why not launch it with Zack Snyder? Like, that would be huge. But you know what do we know? We're just fat, stupid fans that just go like, yeah, fuck you, dude. Like, we're just dumb.
Hey, we've only been saying this for fucking 10 years now. You know, we've only been saying this since things went sideways in
2013,
critics' opinion with Man of Steel. We've only been saying that a darker superhero universe is an excellent alternate approach to what Marvel's doing. We've only fucking been right. I'm sorry, I'm gonna fucking toot our horns about this. You know, the Snyder Cut's fucking amazing. People love it, and people appreciate that it's a little bit more adult, and that it's slower paced, and it's not just popcorn being tossed in your face. Sometimes I want popcorn tossed in my face.
The ones that don't like it, and by the way, it's subjective. If you don't like it,
you don't like it. You don't like it.
And that's cool, man. That's cool. But when you come out and you say it sucks for no reason, or that this and that, and like literally everything you're saying is just hot air that you're blowing to get your attention, you've not satisfied your wife or husband in 25 years. And that's facts. But anyway, but let's get into the Knightmare sequence, though, because that's a sexy one.
Let me hit these super chats before I lose them, and then we will. Gypsy Warrior said, what's the point of the multiverse if they're not going to use different timelines like the Snyderverse? Hey, Gypsy
I like
Warrior,
that.
Fucking get
that's
it.
What I'm.
Warner Brothers should hire
That's
you.
what I'm talking about. That's what good Gypsy Warrior. Woo-wee.
I'd love seeing Zack's take on Scarecrow, etc. Oh yeah, dude,
that's a nice one.
Something I really want, and I'm not even going to ask the universe for it because we're asking for so much already. But God, I just want to see like 10 films with Ben Affleck and Zack Snyder doing Batman shit. Oh God, I want that so bad. Jeff Hill says, part 1, I'm sorry guys, but when Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel are making more money than Batman vs Superman, there's a fucking problem. Yep. Understood. Noted.
I get you. I know what you're saying.
Part 2, it's not financially sustainable for WB to continue the Snyderverse, and better to just reset. And that's coming from a fan of the Snyderverse. Well, you go ahead.
No, I mean, well, I was going to say, no, I get what he's saying, and that could be true. But I think all you got to do there is you got to cut out the one cancerous tumor that you've really got going for you, which is right now the Joss Whedon Justice League. You cut that bitch out and you act like it never happened. You replace it with already a beloved film in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and you go from there. You can keep Aquaman, you can keep Wonder Woman, you can keep Wonder Woman 84, you can keep BVS, Man of Steel, even Shazam and Suicide Squad. You cut out the only thing that's really cancerous to them is the Justice League. You're not going to lose money, you're going to make money, because if you cut that film out, boom.
And if you can change the fucking title of the Harley Quinn movie the day it releases, you can come back out and say, actually, no, this one's canon. I mean, it's not that fucking hard.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. There's a problem. Yeah, you're right. But here's the thing about BVS. And I know that it is slowly but surely gaining a massive cult following. And it did lose money, and there's no denying that. Mike and I were big fans of BVS. I still like BVS. I like Man of Steel. We both love that too. Mm-hmm. The thing about BVS still made $800 million. Like, it's not like it was a fucking, fart in the wind. It made $800 million, and it's still slowly but surely gathering more and more fans as time goes on. So, I mean, I don't think, I don't see them. It's saying that it's not financially sustainable for them to move on with Zack Snyder's.
Also, you have to look at the way that films work in the box office. And I know this because of the horror sequels that we follow. So Halloween 4 comes out, I don't remember exactly how this worked, but let's imagine that a shitty horror sequel comes out, but it's a really anticipated one. So the shitty movie comes out, and it makes a fuck ton of money because it was really well promoted. It was a big deal or whatever. The next movie comes out sometimes, and it's twice as good as the movie that came before it, but it gets half the box office. And a lot of times, that's exactly what happens. It's all based on the previous movie. Man of Steel had a bunch of shit going on. Marvel was at its heyday. Critics shit on Batman vs Superman before fans ever got to see it. And, again, that was partly because we don't know how much money Batman vs Superman would have made had Zack Snyder been allowed by Warner Brothers to release the extended cut on initial airing.
Yep.
Had that happened, and had the critical reception been better, and it would have, then the movie would have made a shit ton much more money. So Warner Brothers just got to look at themselves in the mirror and say, we fucked that up, not Zack Snyder, and then go forth and prosper.
Exactly. And I agree with that 100%. I think that if they, if the tragedy had never happened to Zack Snyder, if, unfortunately, if Autumn hadn't taken her life and he had to step away from the movie, I think we'd be having a totally different conversations. I think we'd be talking about Justice League 2 right now. Or Man of Steel 2.
Not only, well, I don't think we would have, but that's only, again, because of Warner Brothers. Because even though the 2-hour cut of the Snyder part would have been better than the Whedon cut, they still wouldn't have been 4 hours. They wouldn't have released this natural vision.
I think what would have happened is that we would have got a 2.5-hour cut for sure. I think Zack Snyder would have fought tooth and nail for 2.5 hours at least. Maybe even push that 2-hour 40-minute mark. What we would have got later on is like it would have been like the Watchmen, the extended cut, and all the rest of the film would have been in like a director's extended cut, like he did with Watchmen, like the whatever, and then that would have got. Anyway, the point being is like if that tragedy never happened, dude, like goddamn, we'd be all having a different conversation. And it's weird, man. The haters that come out in fucking waves like goddamn cockroaches when the lights come on and they scatter for the bread when you open the cabinet up. These fuckers they just hate Zack Snyder. It's not like they hate the movie. It's like they just hate Zack Snyder for no fucking reason.
It's what I'm saying. It's so weird the hate he gets because he never did anything to anybody. Everybody he works with talks about what a nice guy is, how energetic he is, how much he loves his characters. I mean, go look it up, dude. The people who work with this guy love him.
I know, dude, what's funny is I remember hate for him being back in Dawn of the Dead days when people were mad that he chose to have the zombies run, and they're like, George Romero would never do that. The zombies walk really slow and they're scary. And then he was like, I understand that, but the idea is it's fictional. So it doesn't matter if they run or if they walk slowly. And he said he was a fan of the walk slow zombie. He just said that it added a more intensity by the way, I mean, can anybody honestly fucking say that 300 sucked? Like 300 was fucking amazing, dude. Exactly. Like it was a visual masterpiece. It was one of the coolest movies ever. And people, anyway, I don't know.
I don't get it either, man. Bernie Guzman Jr. Thanks, buddy. Or Bernardo Guzman Jr. Apologize for that. Says, did anyone notice in Whedon's film that it was all about Superman? That weird smile in the beginning by Superman creeped me out. I think Whedon
shit was awful.
Yeah, like, but the thing is that he even did Superman wrong. Like one of the biggest fucking differences for me between the Snyder cut and Whedon's cut is that, and I thought this watching the Whedon cut, I thought, man, Superman coming back to life and Lois and Mama Kent, that should have been so much more emotional. And like he just left it on the table. And little did I know he literally left it on the fucking table. He just sucked the emotion out of it and said, nah, that scene's amazing and it's gonna bring heart to the movie. I'm gonna make a joke about alien probing instead. Yeah.
Well, did you not notice also the fact that I mean, one of the main things that he wanted to focus on was the suit was brighter, right? They all, people had talked about, oh, the suit's too dark. Superman's suit's way too dark. The movie itself, that particular colorization that Zack Snyder uses is too dark. So he wanted to lighten it up. It was like, again, if you go to Disney World and you buy a plastic fucking character, it was the same thing. That's what they wanted their Superman to be. And again, I love the Christopher Reeve Superman. I loved it. I thought it was amazing for its time. They wanted it back, that particular Superman. And I get it, man, but it just worked then. It doesn't work now. And that, Zack Snyder he had a vision for Superman and it worked. Joss Whedon, I don't know, man. Yeah. And but I do agree that, and plus you've got millions of fucking dollars invested in your movie. And that's the best fucking CG fucking lip you could ever make. God damn, that was ugly. Shit. I've seen fucking car insurance, like the General commercials, like better CG than that.
That's fucking true too, man. Luke Bro, what's up, Luke Bro? Thanks, man. I haven't seen your name before. They can just change the title instead of JL 2 and 3. You'll name it Knightmare Part 1 and 2 as an alternate timeline. That's a good idea. Perfect fucking explanation, dude. I love it, man. Simone Morris, thank you. Says, hey guys, after seeing the Snyder Cut, can't help but love best more because it fits together like a beautiful masterpiece puzzle, and it does. Like,
yeah, it all flows together perfectly.
And I wouldn't even mind if they, just to make it very clear to people it's not the same, let's let Snyder do his thing and just make it all on HBO Max, make it all on TV, because he's clearly proven that he's better in long format than short format. So fucking make each one of these a season of a show. I'd be just fine with that.
Dude. I think that at the end of the day, man, Warner Brothers, they're making their money back. I mean, they wanted to sell subscriptions to HBO Max, and they wanted to make Zack Snyder's Justice League the flagship of that reason, or of that people going to HBO Max to buy subscriptions. They're doing that. I mean, people are going out of their fucking minds to get the subscription for HBO Max just for this movie. At the end of the day, man, again, I'm gonna go ahead and shut up about it, but I think moves are being made behind the scenes that we're not aware of, and I do think that it's possible that at least one or two executives have contacted Zack Snyder and be like, all right, let's talk, let's talk bones here. Like, what are we looking at? What do you want?
Yeah.
Like, what do we got to do?
I hope you're right, man. I really do. I have to pee really fucking bad. And then I promise.
It is 8:45. We can wait. Can you hold it for 15? We can go at 9.
Well, remember, we're not doing the breaks at the same time anymore. We're doing them separate. So we can each take our pee break, and then when we get back, I promise we'll talk about the fucking epilogue. I know.
We got 364 people in here.
Yeah,
Fuck
man.
Yeah,
hey,
we are going to get into that spoiler. We're getting into that spoiler deep. And we don't even have rubbers on.
Yeah, thank you all for showing up tonight. This is going to be fun. I feel like it's going to be better as we go. We've got our bitching out of the way. I feel like we've expelled our anger at Warner Brothers, and now we can talk about the fucking movie.
Yeah, but dude, it's going to be like one of those things. It's like if you have an ex-wife or an ex-girlfriend that you just fucking hate, and everything's cool, and you're like, yeah, man, I really hope that the Braves do well. You're like, I fucking hate that bitch.
Yeah,
you're like, what?
Up on you. Little
you just get mad. You'll be talking about the movie. You're like, man, that scene was fucking just sweet. Son of a bitch.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right. So now it's just us. Yeah, guys, I can't, like, my phone is really fucked up. I can see the chat, but it's really like it's super slow, and then I can't even see the video. Like, I don't know what happened. It's like my phone took a fart, and then like the gas itself is causing the phone to have a conniption fit. So I don't know what's going on. Yes, it is Tomo Gato, just us. Yeah, but we got a good show for y'all. No doubts about it. It's gonna be good. I gotta tell you, man. We watched the Zack Snyder cut. We got early access. That was awesome. That Warner Brothers sent us over an early cut, or not early cut, but we got to see it early. That was awesome. And then right when it dropped on HBO Max, I watched it again, and then I watched it again today. And I talked to my brother, and he was like, "Why'd you watch it that many times?" I was like, "Because it's like staring at a painting of Picasso. You just can't figure. There's so much good shit going on. I just wanted to keep watching it. I love it. I mean, at this point, I might just have it playing in the background for everything that I do, like cleaning the carpet or vacuuming or making my bed. It's just going to be on there constantly. Lauren D says, "How you doing?" What's that? Highway Jay. I don't know if you meant how you doing. I don't read I don't read lingo that well, so I don't know what that means. HWY. Oh, hey. Okay, you meant okay. I'm sorry. How you doing, Jay? Good. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. Very excited that the Zack Snyder Justice League has come out. Very excited also that there's a lot of talk about this. I think Vanessa actually mentioned March 24th, the Restore the Snyder version, or the Snyderverse is going to be launching. I think that's what the hashtag is going to be. Yeah, let's fucking do it, man. And again, it's not about bullying, and it's not about being an asshole or anything like that. And please do us all a favor. If you're a fan of the Snyder Cut, don't go out of your way to be an asshole to like people that didn't like it. These people suffer from what I like to call small penile disease, and they've got a lot of things going on. No, I'm kidding, but just don't be an asshole and prove them right. There were a lot of people that came out with predictions that there was no Snyder Cut. We were never going to see it. Yada yada yada. Bullshit. But we're right. They're wrong. So there's no need to. The 25th, Vanessa. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Lauren says I meant hey. Oh hey, I know. I heard. Yeah, it's March 25th. March 25th. So yeah, let's do that. Let's get on there. If I had Twitter, I would do it. I don't, but I will be standing outside of my local Walmart with a sign that says the same thing. Don't you worry about that. Michael Ferris says my only problem was too much slow-mo, but that's Zack Snyder, so I can't. Yeah, that's true. There was quite a bit of slow-mo. I did notice that on my third viewing today. But did it detract from the film overall? I don't think so. I mean, he likes playing around with slow-mo, but it wasn't. And I had some issues with some of the song choices. I liked the song choices overall, but there were some times like, all right, yeah, I get it. I don't know, the lamentations and the like after a while, it's like, I get it. Like, I know it's a big monumental moment. I don't need to have like the Valkyries in the heavens telling me this by singing hymns, but I get it. Philip Fuller says, is Mike taking a dump? Probably, or he might have pooped his pants before he left. I don't know. I could smell something funny, and I don't think that was Cheetos. Jesus Perez says Mike Defo taking a dumpo. Probably is. I don't know. Like, I'm not in the same room with him. Thank God, because he lets some stinky ones go sometimes. JU says I agree, but some song choices, yeah. And again, it's one of those. The composer was really good for the film. I liked him. But like I don't hate Danny Elfman. I think Danny Elfman is really amazing too, even though that's the one that Joss Whedon chose. But I don't know. Really strangely, I really thought Joss would have, not Joss, but Zach would have taken Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer did amazing with his scores. So why not bring him back? Philip Fuller says he hope he remembers to wipe. I'm sure he will. With a sock the wrong way. Tomo Elgato says, I just want more adult superhero movies. Disney keeping everything safe is just boring to me. I kind of agree with you, Tomo. I mean, I won't lie. I think that, well, you know, that's the thing about Spawn. We have Spawn, Blade, Ghost Rider. There's a lot of characters that we could have more of an adult-oriented type of film with that I think that in a lot of ways we'll never see because, like, particularly Ghost Rider and Punisher, Moon Knight, things like that are owned by a company that likes to suck mouse stick, and you're going to play it safe and never give us the true versions of those films. Wolverine, even though Logan was rated R, it was the only time. You'll never see, and again, Deadpool's getting a free pass right now. Don't think that'll last after Deadpool 3. You're going to Disneyfy a lot of things, but you're right. Adult superhero films, why not? Like, give it to us. And Zack Snyder was the only one with the balls big enough that he could do it.
Yep.
Or would do it. So, all right,
I agree.
You back? Okay.
I'm
yeah.
back.
A lot of people thought that you were out there taking a dump. There was like at least 2 people thought you were taking a big old poopy.
No, I was getting me a ciggy and a PP in. You know, just what you got to do.
Did you wipe your butt?
Yeah, I wiped. I poop before the streams. It's always a pre-stream poop.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
I think it's like girls when they synchronize on their periods. Me and Mike synchronize with our poops. All right, I'll be back.
All right, man. See if we missed any super chats in here. Didn't look like we did. I don't know if Jay got to your comment, Gypsy Warrior, but he says off topic, but the amount of mistakes made by Warner Brothers, I'm really scared about what they'll do with the Batman animated series revival. Warner Brothers, you got to give them credit, man. If there's one thing they've always been able to do and do right, it's the animated series stuff. Definitely, this was, I think, the best thing that they've done outside of the animated series. But yeah, they've always got the animated shit on lock, so I'm not too worried about that. Jad Cosper. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that, man. He says, also, anyone else excited about getting back to BVS and seeing the Joker car taped to the butt of Batman's gun? Like, how much foreshadowing was done, and they won't give him a chance to finish. I know, dude. Like, he just laid these eggs for this perfect fucking thing, and I mean, he's literally doing what everything Warner Brothers wants him to do, and they just can't accept it because one time a critic said that the movie sucked, and they just can't let it go. It's a nightmare, dude. Nightmare sequence. But yeah, and dude, it's just it's so dumb. The whole thing's so dumb. A writer says it's my birthday. Give me a moment. Happy birthday, Ryder! You motherfucker! Happy birthday! Hey, it's also our buddy Church Jackson's birthday. Happy birthday to Ryder and the Church. Fucking love you guys, man. That's awesome. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you for spending part of your birthday with us, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, dude, it's just shit. You know, if they would just I've just never seen such an obvious choice laid out in front of you. You know, like, do you want this fucking steak or do you want to eat these peanuts that someone walked on after going to the bathroom at a Lowe's? No, we'll work on the peanuts. You know, I'll take the peanuts. Yeah, it's just the dumbest thing ever. They have such an obvious path in front of them to do something fucking cool. It's goddamn ridiculous, you know? And I moved to strike. I do. I don't want to see. You know what I don't want to see? I really don't want to see us fans have to do the hashtag restore the Snyderverse thing like they had to do for the Snyder Cut. It would just be really nice if DC would just come out ahead of this thing and be like, no, that was amazing. We were wrong, and we're going to make it right. We're going to take the lead on this thing, and instead of shitting on it, we're going to run with it. And we're going to say, not only are you getting fucking the Snyder Cut restored, not only that, but we're going to work on getting Ben Affleck back. We're going to get Snyder back. We're going to give him whatever he needs to make this work. We're going to fucking, and they have the outlet to do it. You can't release 4-hour movies? Fine. Fuck it. Don't. Put that shit on HBO Max. It's one of the biggest things you're trying to make right now and do right. And you got the perfect format for it. Everyone's calling for it. It's insane not to. It's insane not to. I don't understand it at all. I don't understand it at all. Someone said KFC fries are amazing. Those tater wedges are good. They're some of the only good things that KFC does. You know, KFC fucking sucks at chicken these days. But those tater wedges are pretty good. And we got Michigan up on 3 on LSU right now with 7 minutes to go. I hope they carry that out and my bracket doesn't get any more butt fucked. My bracket looks like it was made by early Warner Brothers execs right now. Just making all the wrong moves. That's what looks like it's happening right now. But damn, Ryder, we went out here and we said, hey, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday, Ryder. Gave you a nice little celebration. And what does he do? He comes out and says, you guys look so skinny in the thumbnail, though. What kind of butthole shit is that, Ryder? You know, like, hey, happy birthday, man. It's like, oh, hey, you're fat. Hey, you've gotten older and fatter. Happy birthday to you, too. Thanks, dude. It's an old picture. You fucking dick. I'm kidding. Gypsy Warrior says, any hope at all for the air cut? Nah, they killed that shit. They stepped on its neck, and it's never going to happen. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Are you big? Not yet. He's almost got the earphones in. Oh, there's one. Oh.
I heard there was a secret chord that Snyder played, and it pleased Warner Brothers. But you haters don't want to hear about that, do ya? It goes like this, hash brown this, restore the Snyderverse, it must be piss, but you're a piece of shit, as we know. Yeah, dude, I was going to say, if William Zabaka was on Cameo, I would pay the money to have William Zabaka say, hash brown, restore the Snyderverse, and send it to the internet. That's all he would have to say, and I'd post it everywhere.
Yeah, dude.
And says that Johnny Lawrence comes out in defense of Zack Snyder.
Oh man, yeah, they should put Johnny Lawrence in there somewhere. That would be fucking cool. Give him
you know what? If Johnny Lawrence wasn't, he's aged very nice, but I'm saying if he was a little younger, he'd make a great Human Torch. Johnny Storm. He'd have made a really good Johnny Storm.
Dude, that would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude. He really would have.
Hey, let's hashtag old man Johnny Storm. Let's get an old man Johnny Storm movie in there. I'd do that shit.
How come you Snyder him but not me?
That's what Ayer's saying right now. How come you cut him but not me? But anyways, okay, so starting with the actual spoilers from the movie, instead of the current stuff that's going on, we'll start backwards with the epilogue, the entire thing that happens. So this was all a newly cut scene, but it ties... It all ties back into what we saw happening in Batman versus Superman, where Bruce has his dreams or whatever, and Superman, right into his fucking heart.
Oh man,
rips his heart like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber with the fish scene. But dude, that's the only thing they filmed for the movie was that scene. They fixed Joker.
That and the Martian Manhunter scene were the additional sequences.
Yeah. Well, I think that was already there. They just didn't. use it.
No, because the article, Zack Snyder said that Warner Brothers told him that they would give him the money that he could fix his version of it, but he didn't want him to film any additional sequences. He went on to film the John Stewart Green Lantern sequence, and they said no. And then he said, "Well, I had leverage, so what I asked them, I was like, all right, fine, I'll take it out, but I want Martian Manhunter and the Knightmare sequence."
Okay, yeah. All right, I thought that was the only one, but either way, those are two big, huge fucking scenes. Joker. Let's talk about Joker first.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, man.
Woo-wee.
Now, I think people are overdoing it a little bit, dude. I don't think that was a better Joker than Heath Ledger or fucking.
No, it's not
Joaquin
that
Phoenix.
good. It's not that good.
But fucking compared to the Leto's last appearance as Joker,
yeah.
Shoot the gato into hole. It's amazing.
I think it's one of those things, man. I think that Jared Leto performance was better than everything he had ever acted in Suicide Squad, and I know why he was so fucking excited. I mean, he was like, I get a chance to redeem my character. Zack Snyder wrote those lines for him. He looks like, gingivitis is the #1 cause of tooth decay. Like that motherfucker looked like he had been chewing glass for 3 years. He looked scarier. He looked more menacing. But yeah, it was great, man. And the thing, I really wish I had been there. I wish I was a fly on the wall when Zack Snyder asked Jared Leto to come back, because Jared Leto had said something like, I was on tour, so that's why my hair was long. But he's a weird guy. Jared Leto's a weird guy. So he probably was like, sometimes when the planet aligns, I get a tickly feeling in my anus. And I knew that when Zack Snyder called me, that the universe had said, yes, Jared, let's do it. It was, but yeah, he was great. But as far as him being better than Heath Ledger or Joaquin, no. I mean, it wasn't on the same page. It was good though. I mean, he's good.
And I think that we always knew he had that in him. Like, again, going back when we did our dream casting for the Joker, before Leto was cast as the Joker, he was one of our top picks that we thought would be a great Joker. What happened with with Suicide Squad? We've talked about it, so I'll be brief. But it was a bad stylistic choice, making him all fucking gangster and shit like that, and the obvious hot topic tattoos. It was a bad stylistic choice. That's not all Jared Leto. That's a little bit. You got to put that on David Ayer. You got to put that with what they did with him. But in this, man, he is dude. It's just I'll be honest,
it's night and day.
You took the same actor and you painted him in Zack Snyder's deep, detailed vision, and it's just goddamn gorgeous.
He like, again, he does a phenomenal job, and Zack Snyder filmed it exactly the way what he did. I think what he did, honestly, is he was like, I don't need to give him a lot of aesthetic for him to play off of. Jared Leto is already a pretty good actor. He's actually a really excellent actor. I'm just going to give him enough to where he has that to play with, and I'm just going to let him go. And that's what he did. And you could tell, like, look, Jared Leto, and that's what Mike had mentioned, that back in the day when we Dreamcast our Joker, Jared Leto was up there because if you look at his performance in Lord of War, if you look at his performance in the Dallas Buyers Club, if you look at his performance in Requiem for a Dream, this guy had acting chops. He knew what to do, and he knows how to take these damaged characters and really do something with them. So I feel like David Ayer was like, no, he's not that good of an actor, so we're going to make him like look like a 7-Eleven crackhead, and he can play off of that. And again, I like David Ayer. It's not that I don't, but I'm just saying, like, Zack Snyder's the opposite of me. He's like, no, Jared Leto's a really good actor. Let's just give him an atmosphere and give him something to play off of. And they did. It's like fucking like he was like, let's make him Scottie Pippen and we'll have Ben Affleck be Michael Jordan. They play off each other really well.
Yeah.
So
Ayer, I love David Ayer. Like, he's made some end of watch fucking fantastic. But again, the bad guys in that movie were so over the top and kind of Rob Zombie-ish annoying. You know what I mean? Like, he makes some bad stylistic choices, at least for me. I don't enjoy some of his stylistic choices, but I do think he's a good director. I mean, the guy did fucking Training Day, right? You know, but at the same time, this scene, man, when it comes on and how crazy is that when the Knightmare sequence pops on, all you have to do is look at the sand and the dirt and the sky, and you immediately go back to a movie that was years ago.
Look like my bank account.
It looks like my bracket, but you see exactly you know exactly where you are, and you know exactly what you're going back into, and it's so crazy. So fucking Deathstroke is there, right? And what's wild is there was that end piece at the end where Deathstroke and Batman haven't even. Clearly, Batman took his eye because Lex asks him, I think Deathstroke had already had an eye missing before. But he references it, right? I mean, he says something. No,
he said he was being an asshole. He was like an eye for an eye. He was just being an asshole.
But they have had run-ins together. It's kind of
they've had run-ins.
They had run-ins together already. We've not seen that, and now this takes place after that. Far after that. So at this point, Deathstroke and Batman have already had it out, which I guess you could say that's actually kind of a bad thing, because isn't that kind of like lesson if we did get a Batman Deathstroke movie, don't you already know that, hey, they're going to end up working together in the future? So it might take a little bit of the heat off of that movie, I feel like, if they do it.
It is an alternate reality. So, I mean, we don't know if the same things played out in the way that they would have played out in the other, in the original timeline. Yeah. And it's weird to me is that Joker mentions, he's like, is there, in all these alternate realities, you don't have the courage to die yourself, or, I'm paraphrasing. But it's like, so are they aware? Have they tried to fix this before multiple times and it just keeps coming back and over again? So I was like, I was a little confused on that. I was like, so were they, because I mean, obviously Barry is there. And Barry, it references the fact that in BVS, he goes back in time to warn Bruce Wayne. So, like, is this has this happened multiple times? And these people like Mara, Barry, Cyborg, Batman, and Joker, they're all aware of these alternate realities that have existed, or was he just making an offhand joke? Yeah. I don't know. It's and you look at, by the way, when he says, you can answer the question, why send a boy wonder to do a man's job? Was he referencing, now a lot of people, was he referencing Dick Grayson, Was he referencing Jason Todd, whom he beat with a crowbar, or was he referencing Damian Wayne?
I think that they have. I don't remember because again, you guys, there's so much shit that's coming out. I think that they have nailed down which Robin it was based on some Easter eggs and stuff like that. I believe
Jason
that
Todd.
I don't know which one it is, but I believe that they nailed it down. But either way, I mean, overall, we know that this Joker has killed a Robin before, right? Which is something that I would love to see in an HBO Max Batman series them cover, as well as what happened between him and Deathstroke. But what I find fascinating, dude, if you're Batman, like what skills does Joker bring to the table that after he wrecked your life and did all this horrible things to you, and you know he's a psychopath and you know he can't trust him, how desperate must Batman have been? Because that one scene where he's like, you still think it was a good idea to bring him along, and he's like, what do you think? You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine like what Joker brings to the table. Like,
okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ever. M. Labadia says Zach confirmed it's Grayson.
Okay. There I knew it was confirmed at some point, but I just didn't.
I thought it was Jason Todd just because of the Robin suit and you know the ha jokes on you thing. By the way, someone did mention this. I only saw it after someone mentioned it. I don't know if it was Paul Estrada on Facebook or somebody else, but they said that when you look at the scene when Superman is holding the corpse of Lois, that's in the Batcave. You can see the Robin suit in the background right before Darkseid grabs his. So I was like, and I think that and that confirms it because Zack Snyder at one of when he was talking about the potential for his release, he had said, oh yeah, that's when Darkseid boom tubes into the Batcave and kills Lois. So that was already established. That was pretty cool though. It was a neat little Easter egg there. But yeah, man, Jared Leto for the 5 to 8, 10 minutes, whatever he was on screen, totally redeemed himself. You totally redeemed yourself.
Yeah.
In the entire performance in Suicide Squad.
I just find it fascinating that Batman would be like, no, we need Joker. Like, we need Joker's help. Like, how desperate must he have been?
I think because Joker maybe had some kind of intelligence on maybe an underground Gotham subsystem that he didn't know about, and he had to have him. He also could have had like some kind of cult that was following him. I don't fucking know. I mean, he was dressed like with the Gotham bat. I don't know. And then a lot of people don't. I mean, Amber Heard, she is Amber Turd for sure. She's not bad as Mira. She really isn't bad. I mean, I don't mind her as Mira. I think that she's a shitty human being outside of the role, but
but as Mira, I like when Joker called her fish stick. He's like, au contraire, my little fish stick.
Yeah, I was like, you know that vagina smell. That's what I thought he was mentioning. That's why I was like, but yeah, dude, one of the coolest part is like again the interaction between Batman and Joker. Jared Leto's Joker and Ben Affleck was so fucking on point, and that made me want to see a movie with Jared Leto in it as his Joker facing off against Ben Affleck's Batman. It's so good. And one of the most taken aback I was like, oh my God, girl, like this boy making me hot when he was like, I will fucking kill you. I was like, oh my God, boy, you said fuck, dude. Like I was like, holy shit, dude.
He's like,
and he's like, I'll do it slow.
I will fucking kill you.
And you saw Jared Leto start shaking like that. I'm like, oh fuck, dude. Like he was scared. He was like, you're good.
He actually was
you're
scared,
good. Yeah, it was cool as shit. And then when Superman drops down after he finds him and he's looking menacing. Do you see that little smirk that he had on his face when his eyes get all red? He don't give fucks. He's like, you killed my woman. I come for revenge. He's like, you can see, I love Joker laughing in the background, that menacing, like scary, like whatever. Because he was like, the jig is up, motherfuckers. You're done. But you know what? At that point, when Barry drops the helmet down, the Flash, and he starts gearing up to run, I thought it was at that point that he goes back in time to warn Bruce because he knew they were all going to die.
Oh, that's a really good fucking point, dude.
It was like right at that point he was getting ready to break the time barrier to go back and warn Bruce.
That's a really good point, dude. Hey, Joseph Ratzer, thank you so much, man. That's fucking awesome, dude. Thank you, man. He said, I don't have any questions. Just want to say you guys are doing a great job. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. That's really nice of you.
It's fucking super nice to you, man. But yeah, and that dude, like, so Deathstroke is there. He's got the badass mohawk. Yep. Cyborg's still alive. Arthur Curry's clearly dead. He's been killed. Yep. I don't know. I guess Darkseid killed him.
Showed it.
Superman
I think they kind of showed it when Darkseid, when Cyborg is right before he brings back Superman, he stabbed someone in underwater, and then he uses his badass Omega beams. My earbuds came out.
I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
I Omega beamed my own fucking earbuds out. But yeah, that scene when Darkseid like stabs that Atlantean and the crown falls off, I think that was supposed to be Arthur Curry. And then
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to, I read a comment that reminded me of something that we missed there. Brandon Hughes says Joker was pissed about Harley. That was one thing that Batman said in there, dude.
Yeah,
And
that got him.
I wrote a big long article on WeWatchTheMovie.com today about like where I think they could go in the movies that they could do. And one of the things, man, when Batman's looking at him, not only does he said, and make no mistake, I will fucking kill you. He was like, God damn it, that was awesome.
Woo!
God. But he also says, he was like, I made one promise to Harley when I was holding her bleeding out dead body that I would kill you. When I did it slow. I'm paraphrasing. That's not exactly what he said, but he says, I killed Harley and she made me promise that I would kill you and do it slowly. Dude, that means that in this past, not only has Joker killed Robin, not only have they had their entire history play out, but Batman has killed Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn. Imagine a Batman and Harley Quinn movie that ends with her bleeding out and begging Batman to kill Joker slowly.
Immediately, that's what I'm talking about. Zack Snyder understood the character of Joker, dare I say, a lot more than David Ayer, because he realized that Joker doesn't give a shit about Harley Quinn. They're not like, in love, EW, and all that garbage. It's none of that. Like, he uses her to get what he wants, and he could give a fuck less. He'd throw her away like, a goddamn tabloid magazine. He doesn't give a shit. He's in love with Batman. Like, his whole desire is Batman. Not like a sexual way, but just like a homicidal way. Like, that's his infatuation is Batman. Harley Quinn is just a side product that he uses to get what he needs and what he wants. So if she was bleeding out and dying, what pissed him off was the fact that Batman called him out on it, and the fact that she had made him promise to fucking kill him slowly. I'm like, using some bad. That's like, like, what Joker got shaky for? That's like if you're playing the NBA and you actually piss off Shaq. If you pissed off Shaquille O'Neal because you tickled his nuts, it's bad.
I misspoke on that. Thank you, Stephanie and Mark. They don't think Batman kills Harley. He's just there when she died and was holding her when she died.
Oh, yeah, he didn't kill her.
I guess I took that the wrong way or whatever. But either way, that was fucking badass scene. And again, I would love to see that movie where that whole scene took place. I would love to see where all this shit took place, which you can't tell me Snyder wants to move on, because I think he put this epilogue in there to show logs. To put in there.
Epilogue sounds like a discontinued donut from Dunkin'. Can I get that epilogue?
He was basically Ben Stiller in Meet the Parents, when he's like, "Can you deal with that, DC? You know what I could do? Can you deal with that? Huh?"
Hey, man,
it's fucking wild.
Yeah, and again, you're right. I think purposefully filming the Knightmare sequence and the Martian Manhunter sequence before that, the John Stewart Green Lantern sequence, I think it showcases, if anything else, the fact that he wanted to film additional scenes. Like, I feel like that was because he wants the fans to understand, hey, man, I got a big fucking like idea for my universe, and I want you guys to get on board with it. I feel like it was also kind of like that scene in Constantine when Keanu Reeves is being taken up to heaven and flips off the devil right before as he's going up. Like, I think it was kind of like one of those moments too. I think he was like, no, I'm gonna stick this in here and fuck you.
I was thinking of Stuart from Mad TV. Look what I can do.
Yeah, hey, man, it was a great scene, man. If anything else, that Nightmare sequence should have whet the appetite for everybody to see more.
Man, dude,
and Joe Manganiello, I feel so bad for Joe Manganiello, man, because he really was psyched to play Deathstroke, and I would have loved to have seen a Ben Affleck movie with him in it as one of maybe the main villain, Deathstroke. Oh, and he knows his name. God damn,
dude, he should write a book. He should write a book just about his dealings with Deathstroke, and he should name it "All Dressed Up with Nowhere to Go," because they have gotten that guy on the fucking hook so many times and not done anything with him. It sucks for him, and it sucks for Deathstroke, and it sucks for us.
Lucas Brunswick, I know Mike said he misspoke. We know, Batman didn't kill Harley Quinn. We know that. I think the reality is Joker let her die or even killed her himself.
I imagined it that way in my head, though. Just the way he said it in my head, I took it as, I killed that bitch. I killed your bitch.
I feel like, I swear to God, dude, I think that Zack Snyder really, like, I don't think he played the games, but I think he was very familiar with the Injustice storyline and the fact that Harley Quinn was actually helping Batman when Joker gets killed by Superman in the Injustice storyline. But I think what happened in this particular is Joker either found out that she was helping Batman and he either killed her or let her die and be, killed by Darkseid and his forces or something. So
Juju32 says, I was meh on Snyder, but Snyder made me get it. Or the Snyder Cut made me get it. And dude, the same thing happened with BVS, man. Again, if you just like this guy, you want to say something bad about Snyder, say this. Say maybe he has a hard time getting his vision across in 2.5 hours. If that's the worst thing you could say about a director, Fuck it. Oh, we're gonna give Scorsese fucking 4 goddamn hours on The Irishman.
Yeah.
Let's give Snyder fucking HBO Max 4-hour cuts all the way around. Let's do it 7 times.
And we're luckily we're living in a digital age right now where that's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's not like, and again, yeah. And look, again, I think that Snyder would have fought and he would have got the 2.5 hours or 2 hour and 45-minute mark for a Justice League movie if it had been his theatrical release, if the tragedy hadn't occurred. And I think it would have been heads and tails better than what Joss Whedon released in 2 hours, because he was going to stick to his guns. He was going to stick to his vision. He was going to stick to the people and the characters that he loves them as much as us fans love them. And he wanted to keep, he would keep the integrity intact. Whereas Joss Whedon came in, and again, I'm not saying it's all Whedon, but maybe coming in with instructions from Warner Brothers saying, hey man, we want it to be like Marvel. Whatever you got to do, make the cuts where you got to make them. You got to be like Marvel.
Yeah.
And that's all that happened. So
the fact that Warner Brothers asked Zack Snyder to release his unfinished cut before they said that they would do this tells you pretty much everything that you need to
that story,
know.
it's weird, dude, because I was reading that that article about him, and he said what happened is he screened the movie, the incomplete version, because it didn't have all the special effects or whatever, to the Warner Brother executives. They came over to his house, and he has that badass home theater. He got Bose. He got Bose speakers, and they all came in there, and he's like, when they saw the film, they watched the entirety of it. They were like, all right, you know what? Release the movie, but we're not going to give you any money. Just release it as it is. So there was going to be no special effects. There weren't going to be anything like that. And he was like, nah, I got to have the money to release this, bitch. And
that is
like
some punk rock shit right there.
But that's what Warner Brothers wanted to do. They were like, all right, you know what? The fans want it, so release it incomplete. Yeah. But they'll get their version. And he was like, no. If I release it, I want it to be finished.
Yeah, if he released it incomplete, it would have proved everybody who's been naysaying about this goddamn movie, the goddamn John Campy is out there, all of them, it would have proved him right when they were looking at the fans saying, fuck you, there's no way you can get what you want. I'm a movie guy. I know what's going on. No, you're the exact same fucking thing everybody else is, dude. And y'all are. And you should just be happy for the fans instead of talking shit.
Yeah, dude. But he looked at fucking Warner Brothers and he said, suck my white ass ball. I need that $70 million.
Jason all said Joker was better but expected more time with him. I think I didn't expect more, because the only thing that they kind of fucked up on with those promo shots of him wearing the Jesus thing and all that stuff and holding the Batman mask is it did kind of make you think there was maybe a little bit more. But I actually only expected a few minutes, especially when you're watching the movie and you know you're 4 hours deep. You're like, okay, that Joker scene is going to be short, and it was. How
many? By the way, thanks for the super chat. How many skid marks do you think that David Ayer has in his underwear right now after watching that scene?
Man, I bet he's pissed. Yeah.
I should have done more. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I was dumb.
And I actually feel bad for Ayer, because like he's just doing the best he could do. I just think that sometimes his stylistic choices just they
you know what's gonna happen? I think the next time we see Joker under a David Ayer umbrella, he's gonna make himself like an appointment at the tattoo removal center. There's gonna be a moment where Joker is like, hey Harley, I don't want no beef with you. You got beef, but I gotta get my tattoos removed.
Hey dude, that's what Marvel would have done. They would have done one of those. Hey, when the Blu-ray comes out, we're gonna get we're gonna have a little like funny short, you know, like they did with the Mandarin kind of. We're gonna have a little funny short, and it should be Joker going to the tattoo shop and cracking jokes. You know,
I would honestly at this point, if I were David Ayer, like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm gonna put that in because he looks way better without the tattoos and shit and the gold-plated Master P teeth.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Violet Rose. Thank you so much, Violet Rose. That's fucking nice, too. You guys are too sweet. Says, love you guys. Thanks for the laugh. Thank you so much for that. That was a sweet super chat for sure. Thank you.
Zachary Bloom says, as many skid marks as Amber Heard has. Well, that's a hell of a lot. That's one big pile of shit.
So she's got some anger in her britches, buddy.
That's a lot of poopy on the underwear right there. And she wears the thongs.
Kool-Aid.
So that's spilling out the sides.
She'll poop in your bed, dude. Don't say nothing bad about her. She'll find your bed and poop in it.
God damn. You know, I never would in my life hit a woman, but my shit would be tempted. If I walked in and I saw this greasy ass big old frozen chunk of duty in my fucking side of the bed, I might either
you just smelled it and be like, oh, you got beef.
I know. I'll tell you what, I might push your face in it like a dog. You see that? That's bad.
Did you eat beef? Did you eat beef?
No, dude. Maybe I just pick it up with my hand, so pissed off, and just throw it right in her fucking face.
He threw poop at me. He's like, yeah, but it was your poop.
Yeah, I would have. I would hope that she was drinking fucking wine out of a fancy goblet, and I would just drop that turd right in her fucking.
Kool-Aid Unleashed, one of the greatest names of all time. Thank you. Says, I'm going to send you guys something good, but I need to know first, what size dress shirt do you wear, Mike? I'd like to say, large, but I'm more of an extra large these days.
Hey, he's a powerful man.
I'm more of an extra large these COVID days.
Hey, he goes, Mike's an outlaw. Quick on the
jaw. Eating Twinkies in my drawers.
Hey man, I'll tell you what. There's nothing. Hey man, you gotta feel comfortable.
I'm buying larger shirts. Promising myself I'll get back into the old ones. You know.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. We need to reverse time here. We need to go back into another segment. I think the best thing to go from here is another additional sequence shot that he shot with Martian Manhunter. Those are the only two that he shot that were new. Well, I mean, everything's new about the movie, but that's like actual new.
Hey man, as much as I fucking love it, the first one of those, because there's two, right? There's two Martian Manhunter scenes.
Yeah.
As much as I love this movie and this whole cut, I gotta say, dude, the fuck conversation between Ma Kent and Lois was so much better than what he did in the coffee break room in the
amazing
version. But coming out of that, I did think it was a weird choice, to be honest, to have Ma Kent end up being Martian Manhunter, because it's like
I'm not.
It doesn't it kind of take off the emotional edge a little bit when it turns out just to be Martian Manhunter.
Well, I know that, and I apologize, I don't remember the guy's name that portrayed Martian Manhunter. He was in Man of Steel. He had a relationship with Amy Adams in some capacity, and he also had a relationship with Superman in a lot of ways, actually, in Man of Steel. I think it is a little odd that he chose Martha as the vessel to talk to her. But I mean, if he had come as the general, like, it might have been too weird. The thing about Martian Manhunter is a very empathetic creature. And I think that what he was trying to do was to make her understand. He did care. He does care about her, and he understood the sacrifice that Superman had made. And one of the best lines that came from that is, "I want you to come back to the land of the living." And you know, it's great because of the suicide prevention and things like that. That was a great line. And I think it was intentionally written.
That's a good point.
For that purpose. I do think it's strange that he, you know, it's not actually Martha Kent, but I don't mind it. Because that scene is powerful and I really enjoyed it, and it made more sense to get her, you know, motivated to get the fuck back out there. And, you know, you got to move on. Even though a tragedy happens, you got to pick up the sticks and keep moving. And I think that was the point. And I love that. And they could have left it that way. They could have had the glowing eyes and he could have walked out. You're like, I don't know who the fuck that was, but they showed full on Martian Manhunter. And I'm like, fuck, dude, that's badass. Because the reality is Martian Manhunter, I feel like he never gets used appropriately.
Or at all.
Like, yeah, he's always an underused, and he's an awesome character. In reality, he's a strong, like, power level. I think that he matches Superman in a lot of ways. Like, that motherfucker is strong. He's so strong. But no, he really is, dude. Like, you're talking about, he's got the eye beams. He's super strong. He can fly. He's also got telepathy. He can phase in and out like Vision. Woo-wee. And he can warp, and he can change into whoever he wants. God damn.
We will need it in the fight against Darkseid.
That's true, man. And the end when he comes up, hey man, that's like, I think you were absolutely right about that being an extra shot, because when Affleck gets out of bed at the end of that movie after having the Knightmare sequence stream, he's looking fucking good, man. Affleck's looking skinny as fuck.
That was a lot of thing though. He did not have the same bulk as when he was Batman, when he was like, because you could tell, well, the additional, and I don't mind that. I'm not saying it should, but I mean, you know, when he's Batman, he's full on fucking built, like he's built for tough. But I mean, when he's like, but I mean, he still looks good.
No, it looks great. Like, that's what I'm saying. I think he looked great. But you see these shots of him like getting his Dunkin' Donuts and shit from the paparazzi. You can tell he looks like the town skinny. He looks like he's fit and in shape, and obviously he's not drinking anymore and he's taking care of himself. It's good for him. Cheers to Ben Affleck there. But you could tell he looked good in that scene. But when he walks out there and he's already been through so much shit, there's a fucking alien like just floating outside of his house. He's like, "Fuck you, what, man?"
You know what? You know what's weird? And I like that scene too. I like, you know, Martian Manhunter comes down, and you could tell. Again, I apologize. The actor that plays Martian Manhunter, or at least voiced him, he does such a great job of showing the empathy in his voice that he actually gives a fuck. And it's a very gentle kind of way that he's like, you know, no one. I never thought I would see the Defenders of Earth united, but you did it. Your mom and dad would be proud. It was a really good scene. And I'm glad that it's in the movie, and it really looks good. I really do like it. But I gotta be selfish here. Um, I would have loved to seen John Stewart as Green Lantern come down and talk to Ben Affleck.
Yes, dude.
That would have been amazing. And again, people were going to be asking, "Where's Hal Jordan? What's going on?" But that's the point. That would lead you into a Green Lantern movie. What happened to Hal Jordan? Where's he at? Because I swear to God, on everything that's holy, dude, there's no fucking doubt. As I flip my cap and it goes on the floor, that Zack Snyder wants Ryan Reynolds back as Green Lantern, dude. I don't think at all.
They had a conversation.
Yeah, on Twitter, they were tweeting back and forth. Did you not, like, he was talking about he's getting ready to watch Green Lantern for the first time. He's like, hey, can we get a fucking Zack Snyder cut of this bitch? And and the thing is, I think that Zack Snyder would have loved to bring back Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern. Like, hey, we gonna treat you right now. I mean, you got a bad deal down the road, but guess what? We gonna put you real nice, and you're gonna come to the men's warehouse, and you're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it. And I think that's what would have happened.
Hey, Ryan.
But it's weird.
Guarantee
People are like, well, they didn't want to see the John Stewart thing because Warner Brothers actually told them to take it out because they had their own plans for Green Lantern.
He literally told him. He said they told me basically we don't want you touching Green Lantern. I was like, God, you guys are such fucking dicks.
Stephanie Call says Zach had a conversation with Ryan. So yeah, so there was that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things going on. But I guarantee you that Warner Brothers, like, you talk to that piece of shit. He's made fun of our movie multiple times. I don't want him back. I think that's ultimately what happened.
Probably. It was Harry Lennox, by the way, is the name of the actor that portrayed Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I love that guy.
Another great tie-in to Man of Steel, and we can touch on that real quick, going through the spoilers. The tie-ins in this movie to Man of Steel are fucking just amazing, and you can tell it. Whedon didn't want that shit. He didn't fucking want that shit. Dude, my favorite scene in Man of Steel is when he goes up to the ship. And his dad's talking to him, and he puts on a suit, and he flies, dude. I get teary every time I watch it. And the whole "they will follow you into the sun, Kal-El." That dude, God, dude, like it's just in the music. The fucking Hans Zimmer score comes on. By the way, this movie's the score in this one, fucking. I like Danny Elfman, buddy, but this was fucking legendary score.
The composure was great. Well, that I actually was gonna. I don't know, but when he goes back to the Kryptonian ship, and I love the fact that when everything is opening up. It does the same thing when they're going to bring him back to life, but all the ship is reacting to him, and it's like showing all the different suits that he can wear. He goes purposefully to the black suit because he's still healing, and it's like the ship knows, and he knows that he needs that black suit to absorb the solar energy
to go grab that shit.
And I was going to say, and while Jonathan Kent, Kevin Costner is talking, and Jarrell, Russell Crowe, they're going back and forth, and it's in his head. As he's walking down the Kryptonian ship. Did they film? I would love to ask Zack Snyder that. Was that additional dialogue that they filmed? Because there's one scene, love them as we loved you, or was that in the Man of Steel movie? I don't remember if Russell Crowe's character said that. I have to go back and watch Man of Steel.
I have to go back.
But he's like, love them like we loved you, and then you hear Kevin Costner's like, it's time to fly, son, or he's like, it's time, the time is now, or something. I thought those were additional scenes, or
they
audio.
may have been, because there was a lot there. There was a lot of dialogue going on in that scene. But dude, the same way that I felt that emotion the first time I watched it, and this has been what you said, like 2013, so this has been 8 years since then. Seeing him go back into that ship, and that entire scene when he flies again. Dude, the entire Superman thing was done so much better this time. Not only, and I've talked about it at length, not only him reuniting with his mom, and instead of being like, you smell weird, Clark, this is Superman. This is these people's fucking lives. This is his fiance, Lois. This is his mother. He comes back and he's like, hey, what's up? And they're like, hey, man, you smell funny. Like, that was fucking trash. It was trash juice.
You smell like vomit.
And in this one, it was so much better. Him going to the ship, him hearing his dad's talk to him and doing that was so beautiful, man. Him reuniting with Ma, so much fucking better.
Even going back to when he comes back from the grave, that sequence is still in there, by the way. We all know that. We're all here for spoilers anyway. When he fights the League, it's a better sequence. It's just way fucking better. It's extended. It's got more heart to it. It's got more dynamic to it. It's got better music around it. It's also got more depth to it. It's a big old fat cock, and it looks good. That sequence when he's fighting the League, but when he goes back to the farmhouse after he picks up Lois, I like the fact that Superman, he's still kind of out of it, and he starts remembering.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh,
I
she
like
always
it
loved
here."
it here," and he's like,
Yeah.
"I loved it here," and then.
Yep.
Like it was like a slow, you know, you just fucking died, man. You've been buried, you know, 6 feet under for a while, and he's like, you just got shocked the fuck back to life. How you feel? You smell weird. Like, you know, but no, it's handled with a lot more care, and it's played out a lot better. And holy shit, man, that when that black suit, yeah, I'm not saying it was as powerful as Man of Steel with First Flight.
It's
but
not,
it was up there.
But
It
yeah,
was up there.
but it was a nice callback, and that's what I mean. Everybody wants fucking DC to be goddamn Marvel. Isn't that what Marvel does? You're in a movie 7 years down the road, and they call back to an emotional scene from a movie 7 years ago, and you get fucking teary eyed because you're like, oh my god, there's just so many threads, there's so much different shit happening here. That's exactly what Snyder had in his original goddamn cut of the movie, and you took it the fuck out. I go back to the same goddamn thing. You have everything you're asking for, and you always shit on it. You shit on it, you shit on it, you shit on it. Not just that, dude, but the black suit alone. The fact that this movie was originally filmed wearing the black suit, all right? And for no other reason. Dude, at some point, and I swear to fucking God on my life this happened, and it boggles me, makes me fucking confused and crazy. It's fucking nuts, dude. At some point at Warner Brothers Studios, in a conversation between Josh Whedon or somebody or fucking someone, they actually had a conversation where they went, you know what? Let's change the suit. I know that it makes sense and it ties in with the comic books and it's got a really deep meaning, but you know, black is just kind of dark. Yeah. We don't really want to portray dark Superman, so can we go back and spend fucking retarded amounts of money to fucking make that suit blue, because we don't want people to see black because it'll make their little feelings feel weird and they don't want to feel gloomy. Fuck off, we're adults, goddammit.
I don't even know. I almost don't even know if that was Warner Brothers' decision to do. I still feel like that's a Zack Snyder or Joss Whedon bullshit. He was like, I ain't gonna put no black suit on him. Fuck that. Give me the blue suit with the red and yellow. Woo-wee. But you know, it probably was Warner Media in some way too, because again, I'd already mentioned this. They could not wait to run up the escalator to fall right on top of that Mickey Mouse cock and suck that cherry flavored lollipop all the way down their throat, because that's what they wanted to do. And they were like, we're going to get Joss Whedon. He's going to make the same jokes the MCU make. He's going to make the same movie. And we're going to be set. We're gonna be sad. But it didn't work out that way. The black suit, the reason why, and it's not because it's edgelord. It's not because, you know, us fans are like, it's so edgy, bro. It's so edgy because Zack Snyder makes dark and realistic movies and it's gritty. No, that fucking suit was a part of his resurrections in the goddamn comic books. And by the way, it served a purpose because he uses it to absorb solar energy so that his body can rejuvenate, because right now he's too weak to do it. Did you not know that from the DC comic books? Do you just think that he made it up? Anyway.
Sitting on toilet. Sitting on toilet.
I get mad about that, dude, because it's like you just think that I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy to think that you got such a different version in Joss Whedon's. And again, there we find ourselves talking about Joss Whedon's cut versus the actual spoilers of the movie.
Angry.
But you can't help it, man. You can't help it. That sequence when he comes back to life, the entire resurrection was handled so much better, and it was so like it just explains so much more, and it had more depth to it. I don't know.
And they took out. Like, you want to tell me, oh, DC is just dark and there's no humor in it. It's black and gloomy and no one likes it. Excuse me, but they fucking cut out the funniest jokes in the movie. Like the scene we're talking about right now, where Superman comes back and Flash goes to attack him, but he's like fucking he presses B and spin moves him, and then he runs into Aquaman, and Aquaman's like, and then he's like, I'm so sorry. Like, that joke was sucked out of the movie. Like, he took the humor. It's so ironic because everyone says DC and Zack Snyder are so dark and scary, but Joss Whedon went in and took out the funny parts of the movie. He made it darker. It's still shitty popcorn farts.
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, I think that Zack Snyder, the reason why the jokes work so well is it's organic. Like it works because it's organic in the scene. It makes sense. Like the jokes that, like, I go back to Arthur Curry Aquaman when he's having a conversation with the Flash and he's like, "What do you think? Option one, And he's like, definitely not option 1. And he goes, option B. He's like, let me see 1 again. Like, those are just
It's a
like
good
small
joke.
jokes. They're funny though,
Yeah.
because it feels like a team coming together. They're getting to know each other. It's organically flowing versus like, let's stick this brunch bullshit in here. What's brunch? I don't know what brunch is. Do you like Pet Cemetery? What if Superman's like Pet Cemetery? Like,
Dude, I haven't looked at it myself to 100% verify it, but someone said that one of the intense, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I saw one of the intense scenes between Wonder Woman and Steppenwolf, I believe, when they had a very intense dialect scene.
Yeah.
Someone, I think that was the scene, but either way, someone said that they went back and watched the other cut, and Josh Whedon replaced that serious Wonder Woman moment with a cleavage joke.
Yeah, well, that look, okay, the attack on Stryker Island, when they all form up and you see them attack Stryker Island, and the first time that Diane Wonder Woman confronts Steppenwolf, she was fucking badass, dude. Like I'm not even talking about the bank sequence at the beginning of the movie, which was fucking amazing, by the way. God damn. But when you see her attack Steppenwolf on Stryker Island, and there's no, titty joke or vagina joke or whatever. It's just a badass fucking chick doing what she got to do to take down this horny bastard with his horns. I'm not talking about that he was sexually attracted to her because he's an alien. I don't know what he's into. Probably alien
Couldn't blame him if he was,
But whatever. Yeah, you take a week off work to spend in bed with her. But anyway, my point being is like they didn't need to rely on all that bullshit. She's fucking great. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when the sequence when she confronts Steppenwolf and that badass music, that great theme song comes on for her. It wasn't because, it's not, they didn't focus on that she's a chick, and they didn't do it in a negative or a positive light. They just said she's a badass superhero, and it's an awesome sequence. It reminded me of Ellen Ripley from Aliens, man. She's just fucking awesome. And you're like, I don't give a fuck if she's a girl or a guy. It's fucking awesome. And she's kicking the shit out of him, and it's badass, and I love it. And yeah, it was great, man. But yeah, like Joss Whedon, he was making those cheap ass jokes. And that was it. But now I wonder, I mean, you didn't really make those that much. I mean, you kind of did, but not really. In the Avengers movie, you didn't really talk about Black Widow's ass in those hot ass leather pants. I was looking at that.
They did the same thing with Wonder Woman, dude. There was another thing I saw where they were like it was a cool scene another cool scene that was cut. And they were like the only shot that Whedon kept of this pivotal scene was the shot where it's zoomed in on Wonder Woman's ass and the pants. And I'm like, okay, so I thought DC was the fucking dark, like, ooh, sexual stuff going on here. But Whedon's out here like, hey, let's do a 7-minute close-up shot on fucking. And I don't have a problem with it. It's a nice ass, okay?
Yeah, but you're focusing on Wonder Woman.
I'm just saying.
Well, it's like zooming in on Superman's cock. It's like, look at that big old Kryptonian wiener.
It's like the reason he's shirtless when he comes back from the dead.
Well, you gotta, that motherfucker been working out the gym 8 months. Like, you gotta, he probably made it in his contract. He's like, if I'm gonna go through the trouble of like my pecs look this good, you gonna have me with my shirt off.
Hey, and good for him. Katie said that too. She was like, hey, wait, why did he come back from the dead shirtless but not pantless?
Well, that's a good point. He was so goddamn muscular that it blew up his fucking dress down shirt. Like no, and they also rubbed baby oil on him. I'm like, yeah, like look, if you took that long to work out in the gym for that one moment when your shirt's off, I'd be like, I need some time off with my shirt so everybody can see what I've done, and then I'll eat some fucking ho-hos with you. But yeah, like, dude, the thing is, dude, Joss Whedon's handling of those characters it was so disrespectful in a lot of ways. He just didn't care. I mean, he took the time out of his day to make sure that the characters in Marvel were represented perfectly, and he made sure that they were accurately portrayed on film. And then in these characters, he comes in and be like, no, people want to talk about her boobies and her ass, or like, let's talk about, I'm not just saying he was only the women. I'm saying he probably did the same thing for girls or for guys too, but I don't know, man. Like, yeah, it's night and day different. It's just night and day different.
It is, man. There's two things, by the way, I want to talk about that. But first, catching up on Super Chats real quick. Jeff Harris, thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that. He says, just joined the stream. After what Keaton said today, do you guys think he's going to actually return for The Flash? It seems like his biggest concern is about COVID, which I understand. I thought they were filming next month. We did talk about it earlier, Jeff. It kind of seems to me like either he read something he didn't like, which he says he hasn't read the new update. Something has spooked Michael Keaton, though.
I don't know. I don't know if it spooked him. I think what's happened, and we did mention this earlier in the stream. I think they're having a contract dispute, I think that there's probably something going on monetary wise, or maybe maybe not even monetary, maybe like screen time wise, that Michael Keaton and team are trying to work out with the studio. I think that's what it is. I don't think it has anything to do with COVID. I mean, that's a good cover story for it, but I think that it, he's like, I'm gonna get back in that bat suit. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed this or anything, but I've been enjoying my time off as Batman. I've been
Maybe I just don't have enough time for the salads.
I've been eating a lot of Twinkies and I like donuts.
He's like
so,
us.
Yeah, so to get back in shape and squeeze my big fat ass back into the bat suit.
Hey, if that's the case, respect the Michael Keaton, the human being, because that would be us too, dude.
Oh, dude, I would know 100%. Like if you're like, I gotta lose some weight, you gonna pay me for it. Like, I mean, it's like I think that I think it's a contract dispute as far as money goes, or screen time. I don't think it's because he's spooked about coronavirus. I mean, at this point, people are getting vaccinated. I'm not saying everything is safe and hunky dory out there anymore, but I'm just saying like. They've already proved that they can make films using social distancing and people wearing masks.
Yeah, Keaton's of age. He's definitely, I'd say, eligible to get the shot by now.
Well, I like how that article, that title, Keaton may not be ready to step back into the role of Batman. It's like, bitch, when it gonna be time? He's not exactly the young chick that he used to be. I mean, I hope Michael Keaton stays around till he's 125, but I mean, he ain't getting any younger. So I mean, when?
Hey, speaking of which, by the way, we do not, just so you guys know, we do not have a show on Wednesday. There will not be a live show on Wednesday. It will be on Friday because, speaking of the vaccination, I'm getting my second Fauci ouchie on Wednesday, and apparently it makes you pretty sick the second round. Now, I'm planning on not being fucking sick, okay? I'm really hoping I'm not sick, but if I am, I didn't want to cancel last minute. So,
Iron Wolf says, I thought Keaton was just going to play Bruce, not suit up. I don't know. I mean, maybe that was the case, but I definitely think that at some point they've already said, like, hey, it'd be really cool to see that 1989 Batman suit. If you could, like, rustle it up from the closet.
Yeah, but maybe like stretch that shit out like a t-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, it'll look like I shared a picture last night on Facebook. It'll look like Fat John Connor trying to put on like the bat suit, but it is what it is. But no, man, I don't know. I think that I really do think that Michael Keaton, it's a contract dispute. I think that's the end of the day. That's what it is.
Yeah. Jeff Harris also said, also thoughts on that girl sniffing Aquaman's sweater. Do you think that sweater stank? Probably. That's why Aquaman, she cried.
Oh my God,
she started crying.
Yeah, dude. Like, she started singing like she was dying.
It smells
that wasn't
fish.
The reason why she was singing as he went into the water is because she was singing, "Thank God you finally got a bath," and 2, "I'm dying." Like that shit smelled like straight up dry ass and Cheetos left out in the sun for 3 years. Like it was straight.
Say where the smell goes.
Like you can look at Aquaman, and I like Jason Momoa as Aquaman, but I mean you could just tell for a fact. That guy doesn't bathe because he's like, I just hang out in the ocean all day. I don't need to wash my balls.
Hey, look at my body. I get laid either way, dude. It doesn't matter.
It's like, who cares if I smell like a stinky foot?
Exactly, dude. Well, dude, and let's talk about that Aquaman scene for a minute because it kind of set the tone for how different things are going to be. Because I'll be honest with you, watching this for the first time, I sat there going, "Please be good. Oh, please God be good. I'm going to feel so stupid if this movie fucking sucks." You know what I mean? And I know you were too. Like we're waiting. Like, dude,
I'm not kidding. My the tip of my penis retracted quite a few inches into my my skin because I am circumcised, and I was like. But then when I saw the opening, I was like, "We gonna be good."
Oh yeah, dude. To let you know, and don't get me wrong, we believed, which is why we've been praising and asking for the release of the Snyder Cut. We loved Man of Steel, we love Batman vs Superman, so we believed. But had it come out and it stank shit, it would have been a really awkward road, like it is for so many who told you all you couldn't get what you wanted in the past. But
by the way, I'm just gonna cut in real quick. I'm gonna let you finish. But we're not saying that Michael Keaton doesn't look good. No, I'm gonna let you finish. Don't worry, I'll swallow it. We're not saying that Michael Keaton doesn't look good. Holly Roxy's like, I think that Michael Keaton looks good for his age. I think he looks fucking amazing.
I've never seen him look a pound overweight.
No, the only one that looks like he's got titties for days is Jack Nicholson. Holy shit. Did you see them movies
well, dude,
on that yacht?
He's way fucking older.
Yeah, he's old. But yeah, but Michael Keaton looks good for his age, man. I saw him in Spider-Man. He looked fucking awesome. He was great as the Vulture. But yeah, I'm just saying, like,
we're just kidding. It's a joke.
It's a joke, man.
You know, he's out there in the UK. He's out there in the UK countryside dealing with COVID like the rest of us, probably pounding Coors Lights, and he's like, I ain't got time to get in shape for this.
Hey, man, if I were Michael Keaton, I wouldn't give a fuck about anything, dude. I'd be pounding back. Like, I'm talking about the full flavor Budweisers. I don't care about my body anymore. Let's fucking have fun.
Exactly.
Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Woo!
But no, that scene when it opens up, dude, as soon as you got that widespread scene scene with the fucking. I felt like I was watching. I don't even like Lord of the Rings, but I felt like I was watching Lord of the Rings tailored for Mike. Like with that snowy Alps section, and then like Batman shows up and like he's just looking. There's just something cooler about it. The whole thing. There's just something cooler about it. The second though that those weird ass fucking Paranormal Activity chicks walked up and were like, "Who can say where the road goes?" But like in Gaelic or whatever they were talking. I was like, "This shit's gonna be fucking weird," and I
was like, time has been really bad to Wilson Phillips. Let the shit happen. You guys find yourself on Iceland and you're singing hymns.
And she started crying and shit. You know what? The number one cock in the face that was like, this shit is different, and here's why it's different. Is that I'm pretty sure in the Whedon cut, you see this big like fucking flop like a fish, like fucking Aquaman. You see him dive into the water and make a big hubbub about it. And this one, you don't see him, like he just disappears into the water. He's gone. And then they turn to the weirdo chicks.
Yeah, well, I think it's a lot more respect from the villagers. They show him respect. He's not worshipped as a god, but he's worshipped as a like a hero to them, like a knight. And they give him the respects. I like, you know what? It kind of reminded me of Conan the Barbarian, kind of like the same kind of like, I don't know. It really fit the scene. And plus, they cut out that fucking garbage lines. Like, I hear you talk to fish. Like, it wasn't that snarky ass bullshit that, you know, that he was when he was having a conversation with.
Did they cut that? I thought that was still in there.
No, he didn't say, I hear you talk to fish. Okay. He said, the protector of the oceans
comes on the
Aquaman.
king tide.
Yeah, he's like the Aquaman. That whole scene is played out differently. The dialogue was added by Joss Whedon to make it funnier, where he was like, I hear you talk to fish. I was like, are we making a Super Mario Brothers game? Who the fuck let this corny ass motherfucker in here?
Fish.
Yeah, that was completely cut. And like the tone of that whole scene is so different. And there's a mutual respect amongst him and Aquaman. And like even when
they
he walks
totally
out,
cut out that drunk dude too.
Yeah, well, when he walks outside, he was like, "Oh, you know." He mentions Gotham City. He's like, "Oh, that shithole." Like, I mean, it was so like again, the organic feel of it, the organic evolution of their relationship as the movie continues was on display. Where Joss Whedon was just making fucking like he was a goddamn Grim Reaper, dude. He was fucking nope.
Can't have it.
That's
Can't
good.
Win with it.
Hey, guess what? You talk to fish. That made my 5-year-old laugh last night.
And the scene after that, when Affleck's getting off the helicopter and his hair's looking all fucked up and he's just looking like a handsome sumbitch, totally gone. The Alfred conversation was extended and way fucking better when he was talking, when he's shaving and shit. That was so much better.
And I love it too that Batman is not completely doubting himself every 5 fucking minutes of the movie, because if you look at the Whedon version, he is always doubting himself, like, I need to die. And then you have the Alfred, you know, it's like, well, even you've gotten too old to die young, which is a good line, but still at the same time, it doesn't really fit what Batman was trying to do. It's like, yeah, I'm going to get these guys together, and then guess what? I'm going to go fucking kill myself because of fuck it. It doesn't make sense. It really, I mean, because every scene, it was Batman talking about how he fucking sucks. How I fucking suck. I suck. I'm not Tony Stark and I'm not Iron Man. I fucking suck.
I wish I was a baller. I wish it was a little bit taller.
That if you look at the Joss Whedon version of Batman, he is such a whiny little pussy bitch. Yeah. It's like, God damn, are you sure you didn't get picked up and replaced by a Skrull? Because I don't think you're really Bruce Wayne.
Dude, and the fact that he literally cut out, like, some of the coolest things we've gotten from this entire late version of DC is some of the greatest scenes in the entire thing is Ben Affleck's Batman kicking the shit out of people because it's so violent and it's so gnarly. He literally sucked out scenes of Batman just beating the fuck out of people. Like, why would you take that out? Why?
Dude, one of the best representations of his competency and like the fact that he can hold his own and he deserves to be on this fucking team is the fact that when they go to Stryker Island and he jumps down there after Wonder Woman's whooping up on Steppenwolf, and he's like fucking doing his karate bullshit. He's breaking the goddamn gun. And he's jacking the fuck out of a parademon, and he's taking them all on. And then he's like telling Flash, and he's jacking off. He's jacking off a parademon. And he's like, I'll take it down my throat because I'm gonna show you that I'm not scared. And then he's telling Flash, and he's giving orders out. I'm like, fuck, dude, that's the Batman that was needed a long time ago. And then when you get to toward the end, and he's like shooting people in the fucking head, and like he's rolling and throwing shit, and like explosions are happening, and buttholes are flying, and titties are getting hard, and dicks are getting hard left and right. Dude, this I could not believe that any of this was removed, because it's like you wanted to make Batman more of a pussy than George Clooney pulling out the Bat card in Batman and Robin.
That's true, dude. Let me do the super chats real quick and then take another PP break before we finish it off with some really good stuff. We still got a lot of shit to talk about. Mike White Jr., thanks, buddy. He says, "Reason the grindage." He says, "After me and my wife watched it, the first thing I said was Ryan Reynolds back as Green Lantern. Could you imagine Deadpool and then Green Lantern gets redemption?" Dude, it probably should have fucking happened. I would have loved it.
I think that Green Lantern is the one that everybody wants to have the redemption happen to. For sure. I
agree with Ryan Reynolds, dude. You know what? That movie, not that fucking bad. Not that bad at all.
It's
really
weird.
Don't think so.
I actually just had that conversation with my brother Cody, and he fucking hates Green Lantern. I mean, a lot of people do, and I understand why.
Shitty CGI, sure.
But I wasn't like as mad about the movie as everybody else was. I think that Ryan Reynolds was a good Hal Jordan. I'm not saying that he was the perfect casted choice, but he wasn't bad. The CGI suit was garbage. I understand that wholeheartedly. And then they did rush into things really fast, and a lot of people were lost in what was going on in the plot. But overall, like, I still enjoyed it, man. Like, I think Ryan Reynolds, man, I would love to have him to come back as Green Lantern one time under someone like Zack Snyder and just do some cool shit.
Yeah, I'd be fucking completely down with it, man. I would like to see it. Dirk Jason All says, "Let's pray for Whedon's career, R.I.P." Yeah, it's not looking so hot.
Man, I looked at, people were like, they were ganging up on his fucking on his Twitter, like people banging on the door at Macy's when Black Friday was happening, and like he has not posted. I have not seen a post from him, and I'm not on Twitter, but I just looked.
It's not since November. I looked.
November, and I feel bad. Like, I don't want people to go there and like give him hate.
I do.
He's a tool bag, yes, based on what he's, based on the actions that he took against Ray Fisher and other people. But we had that proof in a lot of ways. I'm not saying that Ray Fisher is lying or anything like that. I'm just saying we don't have all the story yet. And the fact is, I don't like anybody to be ganged up on. I don't care.
Same.
It's mean. I mean, at some point it's mean. So
and
he's just like, back off, enjoy this victory, breathe it in. Fucking, we're at the top of the mountain screaming Drago, and fuck it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, what we're talking about with Whedon stuff is like we're giving opinions on a movie. And sometimes when we do that, because we're just two fucking dickheads on YouTube, Whedon would never give us 2 minutes of his time. But no. I'm saying, like, at the same time, I do think back, and you can't help but wonder, like, he has got to, like, if he logs into the internet at any point, it's got to be like, oh my god, it's just the world looking at you and telling you you're a piece of shit. And I feel bad for him. Yeah. And I hope that he realizes that this is a movie, this is entertainment. And I as far as what he did on Buffy or what he did to the women or any stuff like that, that's a different story. But when
it gets full on truth, though.
Right. And we're talking about a movie. At the end of the day, the guy may have just done his best and made a shitty movie, and that's possible. And you'd hate to hear some news that, like, he was retiring from filmmaking or any worse or something like that.
I don't want to ruin nobody's career.
Exactly. So I would never go seek him out to look at him in the face and be like, you fucking suck, because I feel like he's probably been told that enough. So,
by the way, Nick Bowman got it right. He was like gang up on WB to get the Snyderverse. That's these are a multi-billion-dollar company, man. Like, Joss Whedon is a dumbass in a lot of ways in how he made the movie, for sure. But do I think that he did it alone? Probably not.
And hey, who's to say if you hadn't been like at that point, Josh Whedon, everybody was just filling his mind with, you're the greatest fucking thing ever, or Marvel's all you, like, you're taking all this. It would be hard not to get a big head and think you were the fucking cat's.
But again, we're not excusing him if based on the allegations, how he treated Ray Fisher and the women on Buffy and some other things, if that all comes out to be true, he's a piece of shit and he deserves every bit of that fucking wrath, every bit of that fucking steaming dick. But if it's not, but other than that, like, that's not been 100% proven yet. I'm not saying,
I get you.
I just don't want people to I don't want someone to lose their fucking job because people are pissed off about a movie that came out 4 years ago.
Yeah, we're talking about a movie. At the end of the day, it's a fucking movie. You know what I mean? But either way, and again, if you did all that shit, it'd be nice to come out and say, hey, I made a mistake, and my head was fucking huge, and I treated a lot of people like shit, and I hope you guys can forgive me.
Which would be a good idea. I mean, I don't know why you don't have a PR guy telling you that. Yeah, you should do that. Like,
exactly.
You should do that.
Dude, holy fucking Tits McGee on Texas's Short Shores. William Long with a huge fucking super chat.
He got that long dick.
William Long got that long super
long
dick. Thank you, dude. Oh my God, thank you. He says, I don't know if you guys remember, but once I sent a super chat saying I respect Zack, but don't really care for his take on DC. But I have to say, Zack Snyder's Justice League won me over. First hour dragged a little bit for me. Understandable. Yeah, honestly, when they were in Themyscira, and that was one of the scenes that, like, a lot of the stuff was the same, even though there was also 1,000 differences even in that scene. But that was one scene where I watched the second time and I was like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen here. I can't wait for the next scene. I get what you're saying there.
It drags a little bit.
First hour dragged a little bit for me, but as soon as they united, I adored the movie. WB would be stupid not to continue this. Hey, man.
That's the gospel of the day, my good sir, is the fact that we are discussing the very thing that you just said, is that the gospel of this film, the idea that it united so many fans together to make this film happen, and the fact that it's doing well, not just in America, but overseas as well. It's like it's breaking fucking records overseas right now. That's the point. Yeah, and again, we hope that this sends like a fucking shockwave up the buttholes of Warner Brother executives and says, hey guys, maybe you should let Snyder there have his creative freedom. Yeah. Like, why can't you be like goddamn Robert Kraft from the Patriots and tell Bill Belichick, do what you want?
Yeah, let the goose loose. Holy
like Bill Belichick's been in the news because he's been spending like millions of dollars, and Robert Kraft's like, hey man, build me a fucking championship team. I got your back. Have Warner Brothers do the same thing with Snyder.
But William Long, dude, thank you so fucking much for that. Eric Burke with another huge goddamn super chat. You guys are being too fucking
We don't deserve shit, and we love it.
You're being too kind to us tonight. Really, really appreciate that support, man. That's fucking awesome. Thank you so much. So Eric says, love y'all. I don't have social media, so how do I know your live schedule? You know, that's a tough one. Because I know everybody.
What's your name? I'll send a raven to your home.
For sure.
I like Game of Thrones. I'll send a raven. And we'll find you.
I annoy the shit out of people on Twitter and Facebook because I always hear like, oh, I didn't know you were streaming, especially when we have schedule changes like this week. Instead of Wednesday, Friday, we're doing Monday, Friday. That's a fucking good question, dude. That's a good question that we need to think about.
Yeah, I mean, there's... I don't fucking know, man.
Oh well, Eric, I got you. You got YouTube, right? You have YouTube. There's a thing on YouTube where you can make posts. It's like a social media inside of YouTube, but you don't have to sign up for anything new, Eric. Nothing like that. But if you follow our page, there's a way to see what posts we make. And whenever we do a schedule change or whenever we do have a show coming up, I usually post there earlier that day on YouTube posts, and I'll say, hey, we got a show coming up at this time. But other than that, you can email me if you want to. We could probably figure something out.
You don't have social media, dick face.
He has email. Email's not social media, you fucking raccoon fucker.
I never fucked no raccoon. It was only possums, and that was on a Saturday last year.
Fucking aardvark.
No, actually, well, here's the thing. Yeah, there's normally though we film Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's just been a kind of crazy, hectic week. But usually it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
The live streams are Wednesday, Friday. Yeah. Jay and I usually film live video or
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
recorded videos on Mondays.
I don't even know. I feel like Joss Whedon. I just came in and it's my show.
But typically you can rely on Wednesday, Friday. But again, check out the social media posts. And again, if you need to email me, we can figure something out. We watch movie 2 at gmail.com. Sebastian Taylor, thank you, sir.
You can also text message me. My phone number is 859-254-5405. Budget.
That's our number. I'm gonna. I was gonna say something about coming.
I really wish that we could get that number, like, and actually have an actual like red phone, like Batman does for the Wham phone, and like it could be like that number. We could advertise it.
Yeah, that'd be fucking dope. Sebastian Taylor, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. He says, "Hey guys, just sent you a DM on Instagram related to the topic at hand. Thought you might find it funny. Thank you, sir. We will check that out. And in the meantime, it is PP Tom in Texas.
It really is. I'm not lying, guys. I feel like Superman in all that water at the Kryptonian ship. It just keeps making me want to get up and go fly in the sky.
What I did miss is Mark Dorman. Thanks, buddy. He says, I just want to point out that one of Josh Whedon's pickup shots was literally the Flash pushing a pickup. Symbolism.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing about that particular scene is when the Flash is trying to rescue the family, like, again, it goes back to the incompetence of the Flash. And the fact that he was like, if you save one person, you save. I was like, he doesn't need to fucking know this, man. He's been a superhero for a minute. And then you have the family, and it's like you wanted to do that to have the cutesy scene where Superman is carrying the whole fucking apartment complex while he's only pushing a truck, and then where he's like, you know, like he says the Russian goodbye. It was so corny, dude. It's so fucking garbage.
Agreed, dude. Agreed. Hey, I got this break thing. If you want to take a break at the same time, we could do it. You want to take a break at the same time?
Let's do it.
We'll take a quick break,
Hold
guys.
on, wait a minute. Mike and Jay spell I cup. What? Brennan Hill says Mike and Jay spell I cup. We've never taken a dump in a cup and eaten it before. We're not two girls in a cup.
Pee? I think it is.
I don't know what that means.
Be right back, guys. Toasted cheddar chalupa.
Oh God! Just take a look. It's in a book. Dark faded shit.
And I'm not hooked.
Oh my God, dude! Dark fucking shit fade.
Yeah. Not good.
What happened here?
Bad. They basically just.
You can't because if you go
you can't. They erased the masterpiece and then drew over it in fucking crayon.
Call to John now.
Basically.
Call to John now. I know this hurts. What the fuck is this goddamn Michael Landon bullshit? That doesn't make any sense at all. Like, oh my God. It's like short circuit if the motherfucker started a family. Get it?
So you do have the new Jumanji movie, or you don't have it, or what? I've been standing here for 5 minutes.
You goddamn French people! I swear to God, you're so sexual. Look at it.
Okay, you know what? I'll just rent it online. Thanks, guys.
Dude, oh man,
You look like fucking Rob Thomas from fucking Matchbox 20.
like I said, sexy.
That's not really.
It's 3 a.m. I must be lonely.
Oh,
Bam, bam.
looking for my next hit.
I wish the real world would just stop hassling.
I like that tie though. I wish I had that tie.
Michael, you know what, Mike? I'm gonna let you do something different. Use your knife.
Oh. Oh.
Well, we fucked this shit up. God damn you, Michael! Put down the knife. Okay. Sorry about that, Steve. Michael is learning how to learn with Ginsu knives. Anyway, I don't think anything was damaged.
Dr. Sleep. He puts them to sleep every time.
Not just them, when I'm reading, when I'm talking to them, when I'm trying to be nice to them. But again, the action looked cool, and I was intrigued a little bit by the plot. I want to see it. I mean, I love Terminator, so I definitely want to go check it out. But they took a beloved character, an established character, and ruined the fuck out of that shit with a torpedo twisty and ripped it off. Ripped your heart out of your fucking chest. Like, I don't understand, like... I will just say it looks cool until you find out exactly what they fucking pulled, and you're like, this is bullshit.
Someone's gonna be smoking their pipe and be like, women can shoot guns?
I believe that you are referring to a picture book that you once saw in a National Geographic magazine. It was a strange island that we had never come across before, and they let the women throw spears. That Christmas tree, oh what a sight. This is Michael Myers, this is Jason Myers. Go fucking kill Laurie.
Quiet, listen.
Death is in the ass shaft.
It's time to pay, Mac! It's time to fucking pay.
It's time to stop now, Mac.
My name is Dave, and I've been standing here for 5 minutes. Will you please check me out?
Fuck! God damn it. You guys ever had to ice your balls because you've been doing it so much? That's how I feel right now. Never happens to me.
You know what? Forget it. I'm out of here.
Now I am the master.
Bruce Leroy! Oh, shit! Dude, that was fucking... You thought the first... This one That was fucking better than
You know what?
Yes.
In the Godzilla trailer, when Godzilla breathes out blue fire, like that's how I feel right now. And then when
out of his dick,
Tywin Lannister's like,
yeah,
long live the king. Oh my fuck!
Yeah, I felt like I just got shot while I was on the toilet, so that was a good reference. It was kind of perfect.
Yeah.
It was kind of fucking perfect.
It's like if WCW was bringing back Monday Nitro.
I feel like I'm watching Monday Nitro.
It was so fucking.
And Sting is in the goddamn Raptors.
He's gonna take down the Outsiders.
I had a sister named Judith. She had sex with this kid. It all ended awkwardly quick. You know, I stabbed her in the tits. I know it probably wasn't cool of me, but I just went crazy. You see, my middle name is Audrey. Michael Audrey Myers. Now I'm heartbroken, it spins slow. Hey, just speaking, bitch, I know. Now I'm heartbroken, it spins slow. Hey, just speaking, so do I. Then I met a girl named Lori. Her friends all said she was boring. It all happened awkwardly quick. You know, I murdered all those kids. Step 1, choke you in the car. Step 2, pin Bob to the door. Step 3, dress up like a ghost. Step 4, strangle Linda
Hey, dude, look.
with the
Can you see this?
phone. Now I'm hey, jerk speaking.
Fucked up.
Bitch, I know.
Here we are. Here we are. Oh, it's Hey, speaking of which, that's something we didn't talk about yet. The first scene with Wonder Woman in it, dude.
Ooh-wee.
It starts out the same. You have that Nolan feel when they're sweeping on the plains. Sweeping on the plains, where they're sweeping over the city or whatever, and they go into it. Those bad guys are so much fucking meaner and scarier. They're wanting to kill kids. They're wanting to do. They cut.
You know what it was? They actually seemed like terrorists.
They really did, and
you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying like you should, celebrate that or anything like that, but I mean they actually felt like a
bad
threat.
guys, right?
Well, they felt like a fucking threat. They actually felt like guys that didn't give a fuck about human life at all, and like it was scarier in that reason. And then when by the way, I loved the fact that one of the extended versions of that fight sequence is they show how fucking super fast she can move when she was blocking the bullets with her bracelets.
Dude, it was
and
so much
again,
better.
I love it. And then on top of that, when she like goddamn throws that motherfucker like she's a bill that she's not really willing to pay, and you see the blood splatter on the concrete wall.
Yeah, dude.
That's okay. That's okay because these are terrorists and they want to kill innocent children and men and women. So fuck them. And I know I really thought there was gonna be like somebody like Wonder Woman would never kill someone. So I guess that Warner Brothers hasn't learned from their mistakes.
I really thought that when I saw that, because when she throws these motherfuckers against the wall and their head, because I mean, let's be honest, that's what would fucking happen. If you're thrown with the strength of Wonder Woman against a brick fucking wall, your shit's gonna fucking blood.
I'll be honest though, I would be willing to be thrown as hard as she wants me to be thrown to a brick wall by her.
I'll take it. Squeeze me between your butt cheeks, please. Brandon Hale said, I cut means ICUP. It was a joke. No, we get the joke. We were just riffing on it.
No, honestly, I really didn't. It was explained to me while we were taking a break.
Have you never heard that?
No, dude.
Never?
Because when I never in my fucking life, I never did. No one ever came up to me in school and says, I cup, spell it.
I cannot believe no one's ever done that to you.
Well,
That was like sixth grade shit, dude.
Well, I'm sorry that you heathens had that opportunity. No, I never heard of it before. It's actually funny, but if someone said, "I see you pee," and then I'd be like, "When did you fucking watch me take a piss? You fucking pervert!" It was a funny joke. I didn't get it. I'm sorry that I was stupid.
Hey Jay, what's up, dog?
Huh?
What's up, dog?
It's when you order your dog straight up, your hot dog.
I think it's like, have you ever heard that? Like someone says, "Hey, what's up, dog?" It's like, "What's up, dog?" It's like, I don't know what's up with you.
No, I never.
You never heard that? You never heard that one either? Jesus.
Fuck, dude. I lived a sheltered life, I guess. Fuck, it was like Bruce Wayne. Like I just the first sense of violence I ever saw was a Zorro movie.
Hey, Pug Jab, by the way, if you guys saw the opening to that break, with me and Jay working at the We Watched a Movie store, like we've always dreamed of doing, that is a man named Pug Jab, who he has a new one, by the way. He just sent me. We weren't planning on doing a break at the same time, so I didn't have it uploaded ready for a break, but he's the one that's doing those. They're fucking cool, man. I love him. He says, "I'm watching y'all animating some fire for my own Wham fam as I watch this. Peace and love y'all." Hey, cheers to fucking Pug Jab, man. That's some cool shit he does with those. I love him.
Yeah, man. Speaking of the bank sequence, I guess was it a bank?
Yeah, it was a bank. Yeah,
it was a bank. It was a bank. It was amazing. And again, like they kept in the Joss Whedon version, it was still there, but it was like a husk of the actual scene.
Mm-hmm.
And when Zack Snyder is able to get his hands on it and show you exactly what he wanted to do, it's like injecting steroids right in the ass and then fucking lifting constant. Like you're gonna break the fucking world record. Like you see everything about her that's awesome. You see her superhuman strength. You see her superhuman speed. You see everything, and you see her. By the way, you cut out a scene, which is hilarious to me. You cut out a scene when she talks to the little girl and she's like, "I want to be like you when I grow up," and she's like, "You could be anything you want to be." You cut that out. Why the fuck would you cut that out? Like I don't get it. You're talking about one of the most beloved female superheroes of all time, maybe the best female superhero of all time, and you cut out the scene with a little girl where she's like, "I want to be like you," and she's like, "You can be whatever you want to be." Now, again, we're not a part of that. I'm not a part of the woke. Well, we neither, we're not a part of that. But it was a great sequence. It was a great scene. And you cut that out for whatever the fuck reason, because you wanted to reshoot it because you didn't like Zack Snyder, Joss Whedon. I don't understand. I mean, have you checked your blood pressure lately? Because I think you had a low blood pressure that day, and you're like, you needed chocolate.
It's scenes like that are so obviously good for a movie, and then you take them out. And again, don't come at me with this, "Oh, Warner Brothers said he can only do 2 hours." He added like tons of fucking footage to the movie that didn't need to be there. He could have kept those scenes instead of some Russians under a table going, "What the fuck is happening to me cheese whiz?" Like it could have done anything.
What the fuck is happening to my cheese whiz? By the way, someone said, was it Whedon that took out the blood sequence? I'm pretty sure it was Whedon, and it was Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Because again, you're chasing after that lollipop dick of the Mickey Mouse Club, and they don't have blood in their movies necessarily. So yeah, the fact. Well, remember in BVS, we didn't get when Superman was whooping ass in the warehouse, and I swear to God, we're not gonna only focus on BVS or keep going back to it. But in the BVS scene, when Batman is unleashing fucking hell in the warehouse scene, the theatrical cut didn't have the full-on brutality of it. And then when you got the extended cut, you saw the fucking blood, and he's like, "You just got fucking kicked by a dude that dresses as Batman because you shot me in the fucking head, and I hope you explode." And like but
shot me in the fucking head.
Again, this is why Zack Snyder's vision of DC is so much better, in my opinion, than what Whedon did, because you're getting a grounded, gritty, realistic approach of these superhuman beings taking on bad guys. And again, like Mike said, if you're gonna get kicked by fucking Wonder Woman, it's like getting kicked by Michael Jackson in the middle of his like high kick. Yeah. Like it's just superhuman. You don't want to get kicked by that thing. So
you don't want that. You don't want that smoke at all.
Yeah, man, that was amazing. That sequence was amazing. The only thing weird, and it didn't address it in the Snyder Cut, which is. It is what it is. It's strange to me. When they came out with Wonder Woman 84, it's so fucking weird. In Wonder Woman 84, she learned how to fly. Right?
Yeah.
And that obviously is taking place decades before BVS or Justice League. And when she grabs the bomb and she throws it up in the air, which is a great sequence, by the way, it's amazing. But why the fuck isn't she just flying, straight up and flying to take down the bad guys? I just like, I don't know if it was like maybe the psychology or something of her character, like she's reserving it. I think
it's just a simple thing where that wasn't shot yet, so like,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying though. It does seem weird there, but yeah, no, that whole scene's so much fucking better. And that's one of the scenes like Whedon and WB left that scene in. Like they left the scene in. The bank rob scene was all in there, and just the tiny little nuances that they decided to suck out of it. You can see right there how just letting a guy have his vision makes such a big difference. That scene is so much cooler the way that they did it this time around. It's so much cooler. Another scene, by the way, speaking of violence and shit like that. Mira, I think it's Mira when she's fighting Steppenwolf under the sea.
Down where it's wetter, everything's better under the sea.
Gonna poop in your bed. But when she's sucking his face off, like Mark Wahlberg in Fear, when she's pulling that water shit and like you see his like guts coming out of his fucking face,
awesome.
That was so fucking rad, dude. Like another scene that was cut out, and then and I don't love the under the sea stuff that much. Like I'm not a fan of Aquaman the movie.
Well, I love that. I love that. Well, one of the under the sea kind of moments that they brought back. William Dafoe was restored and talking to Arthur Curry. And again, is it Volko? I think it's Volko. I think that's his name. The character that he plays. I didn't want to say Volkswagen, but Volko. but Volko, I think that's his name. Again, I don't know 100%, but I love that scene, and I love that he had the armor and his mother's trident. And he's like, it's time to take up the, your mother's trident, Arthur, and all this stuff. I love that sequence because, again, I don't know why you cut that out because that leads you right into your Aquaman movie. Yeah. The fact that he continues, he's like, you don't sleep in the same place twice, but you keep coming back here, and him looking all sexy with the water dripping off his pectorials. He's like, I like it here. But the thing is, like, it sets it up perfectly for Aquaman. I love, and again, William Dafoe could sell me the shittiest fucking car on the lot, and I'd buy that motherfucker.
Dude, you know what happened to me? This is embarrassing to admit, but when I watched it, I was sitting there, I got the screener, it's on, it's looking fucking glorious, and I'm watching it, and the titles cards start coming up, and it's like Willem Dafoe. I completely fucking spaced on the fact that he was in Aquaman, dude. I completely forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Great. And I saw Willem Dafoe on there, and it was one of the first things I saw, and I went, oh my fucking God, dude, we're gonna do some weird shit here where Willem Dafoe's gonna show up as the Joker for a second. And I literally like pissed my pants for like 20 goddamn minutes thinking like, oh my God, Willem Dafoe's gonna be the Joker. I don't know how it works, I don't know why it works, but he's
how much weed did you smoke, good sir?
I forgot. And when Willem Dafoe showed up and he was his character from Aquaman, I went, God damn it, that's who fucking Willem Dafoe was.
I didn't mind it though. Yeah, William Dafoe, by the way, some of you sexy ladies and gentlemen might not know that William Dafoe was considered to be a potential candidate for Joker back in the day, alongside Jack Nicholson. They actually considered William Dafoe, which would have been crazy. He might have been a really good one. I think he would have been an excellent one. But yeah, I thought it was good. I liked his character in Aquaman. My dick was already super hard, so I was like, if I get any harder, I'm gonna burst through my boxer briefs. I thought they were gonna bring in Patrick Wilson, dude, as King Orm. Like, I thought they were going to bring him in from Aquaman, where he was going to confront Arthur and be like, we don't have time for the surface dwellers or whatever. Like, I thought there was going to be a moment with him. Yeah. But it was still cool to see William Dafoe get some lines and to be in the movie. Mm-hmm. One of the more striking moments that happened in the movie that was completely cut, whether or not because it was unfinished or, Joss Whedon was sucking too much of that Marvel dick juice, was the moment with Iris West.
I want to suck him.
I want to suck that waiter. The moment with Iris West, when Barry Allen is applying for the job at the dog shop and he runs into Iris West. That entire sequence was, by the way, the part where he's like, pushing his finger through the glass and the slow mo shit. That was in the trailer. And it also started up a very important romance with Barry Allen by introducing Iris West. That chick that was leaving was Iris, and it was cut for why. It was a great moment. It was a great scene. I don't get it. Like, in a 2.5 hour film, that scene would have been in the fucking movie. there's no doubt that scene would have made the movie.
The hot dog scene, which they did do the wreck scene, right? But they just didn't do it as well. Like they showed him saving her. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
but I mean, the fact that they introduced a pivotal character in the Flash's life in Iris West.
Yeah,
and
and then
huge
like
moment.
the hot dog scene. Like, is that scene? It was a good scene. It was funny as hell when he's like that song's playing. And he like takes the hot dog. It made me laugh my ass off. But again, is that not the most Marvel humor you've ever seen in your life? Like the kind of thing that people talk about when like, oh, Marvel movies, they have these little breaks and they're so lighthearted, so fun and joyous for me butthole. That was a scene like that, and he cut it out. And it's almost like saying, nope, that's Fig's. That's Fig's toothbrush, and you're not brushing your teeth with it. No one sleeps in Fig's bed. No one.
Rameliel Dawson says the Flash scenes were fire. They were. They were sexy. And I love the Flash. He's probably next to Green Lantern. He's probably my favorite DC character out there. I love Green Lantern probably a little bit better, but I do love the Flash. I love his power. I think it's amazing. But yeah, dude, everything about what they, and again, it's not just the scenes that were reintegrated into the movie that were cut. It's just the tone of the Flash. Like it's the tone of that character. And again, he's not like a buffoon that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I just push people and run away. Woo-wee. Do you like brunch? It's none of that shit. It's like, I know what to do. I've done this for a while, but I've never worked in a team. So he's inexperienced, but he's still like he's a crime fighter. He understands what he's doing. So I like the fact that they put that in there. And again, I cannot believe that, again, you know what it is? It's Joss Whedon coming in with no idea who these characters are. Iris West is a huge part of the Flash's life, and the fact that you completely circumvented that scene, which introduces that character in a standalone movie that he was going to have later on, is fucking, dare I say it, 500 for stupid, Alex. Like I like, again, I don't get it. And yeah, man. Like, well, we'll get into that too. But the speed, when he enters the Speed Force, when he goes faster than the speed of light, god damn,
Dude.
God damn.
Danny L said, this is true because I thought the same fucking thing. He said, I thought he was going to start sticking the hot dog in her mouth in and out slowly. Did you think that too? When he looks up and he smiles and he sees the hot dog and he itches it towards her face, I was like, is he going to stick that fucking hot dog in her mouth?
I might go a step further. I thought that it was like some like subliminal thing that he had a hard wiener for her. Like when he saw her, it was like, this is my wiener, and it's like, oh, my camera just died. Hold on.
I gotta switch mine too. Perfect timing. Hold tight and hold fast. Hey, look, it's my wiener. Can you guys see my wiener?
My camera just broke.
My wiener was so beautiful that it broke the camera, and all now can say is EOS webcam utility. Utility meaning my wiener.
My camera's still fucked. Hold
Got
on.
that long, strong wiener. Thor, don't look at me like that when I talk about my wiener. He was like, what? Thor likes to sit here on the couch next to my desk space and just stare at me all day long. Like, literally, no matter what I'm doing, I look over and Thor's like, I love it. Look at you. Look at him. I'll show you. Hey, buddy. Are you having trouble, Lois? I can hear you clicking, and I like it. I will show you how to click properly in the next life. I will replace your gamma batteries, and I will show you the way.
Oh, fuck.
Now kiss me.
Oh, God. I feel like Darkseid just sucked my dick. Or Darkseid, I should say. Hold on.
Joey Butter said, "You're my son, and I taught you absolutely nothing." That was funny.
I guess what? Nothing's happening.
What are you doing?
No, I'm not kidding. Hold on.
Did you forget to charge your battery?
No, it's completely green. It's not wanting me to do this. I might have to. What do you mean? Select what happens with the device. Turn it on, bitch. Oh my God, this is stupid. All right, I'll be back. I gotta exit the room and come back in.
Okay.
Right, I'll be back.
I'll continue to bore you all.
What the fuck? Hold on.
My wiener. Yeah, while Jay's gone, I'm just gonna have a 4-minute just video feed of my wiener. Hope you guys are ready for this. It'll be the end of the channel, but it'll be worth it. All I can see is my own face now, and it makes me feel weird in my tchotchkes. Toasted cheddar chalupa. That was for you, King. Toasted cheddar chalupa. That's what Christopher Nolan orders when he goes to Taco Bell. Toasted cheddar chalupa. But yeah, what else happened? What else happened that we've not talked about? The opening of the scene looks completely fucking different. The whole movie's goddamn different. You know what else I realized was different too that they cut out? When Steppenwolf meets Diana in the fight scene in the middle of the movie under Gotham Harbor, and he's telling her, he's like, I fucking killed your whole goddamn family. You should have been there. You fucking suck. You suck. You probably could have fought me off, but instead they're all dead and it's your fault. Like some deep, dark shit. And Diana gets real fucking pissed off. And that's what leads to Diana. You might say, hey, I don't like Wonder Woman cutting off people's heads fucking willy-nilly. That's why. Like, she kept that shit inside. Like a woman does. You piss off a woman, she's not going to fight you right there. She's going to hold that shit deep down, and then you're going to be at family with your dinner, and all of a sudden she's just going to start acting fucking crazy. I'm kidding, but obviously that's what she did. He was saying horrible shit to her that wasn't in the original cut, and then that's why she cuts his fucking head off. And how badass is it, by the way, when she does that sweet fucking spin move, cuts his head off, and then they step on it, and then right then Darkseid opens up, and he's looking at the Justice League, and they're like, what's up, dude? And he's like, I got next, but not right now because I pulled a hammy earlier and I gotta go. Fucking great scene. Steppenwolf did look better. I'm still not a huge fan of Steppenwolf as a whole because he's got those big stupid looking horns, but he looked so much better because that suit and that armor looked better. The only thing I didn't like was the loincloth covering his wiener and covering his asshole, because it just looked like he had a fucking metal tail, and I'm like, why do you have a metal tail, Steppenwolf? But other than that cool ass paint on his armor, the fact when he like just gets his like quick erection on his suit and like breaks off all those fucking arrows, that was a cool scene too. How badass did the ladies of Themyscira look? By the way, when they were breaking down that fucking hatch and like closing Tony Stark's mansion, by the way, it did look exactly like Tony Stark's mansion when it collides into the sea. Those chicks were huge, dude. They were ripped, scary as fuck. I love that scene a lot. But he just looks like a 7-foot deformed toddler. He does look kind of weird. Like, and especially when you get to the fact that he's like bowing before him. He's like, oh, sorry, I fucked up. He's like Matt Damon's character in Dogma, basically. He's like, yeah, I know I wronged you that one time. My bad. I'll take a fucking make it right. Could you please just get me out of here? I'm sorry. But the whole ending was fucking great, man. The whole movie was just goddamn better, top to bottom. Oh, here we go. Got Jay back. Hello. Return to me, sir, and show me how you like it. Uh-oh. Oh, there he is. I could see you.
Yeah, dude. So I got that little issue happened again where it was like a small, like fucking box.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to fight my way out of it, like Little Mac and Punch Out, and I couldn't do it. So I almost decided, I said, fuck it. I don't want to be a part of the stream anymore. Yeah, I got it though.
I'm done here with these tiny people.
It's like, decide. We will use the old ways. I will write in my comments.
That's a great line, by the way. I'm going to start using that all the time. Every time I do something that doesn't work, I want to be like, we will use the old ways. Like when you don't get your spinning check on time.
Vinny asked, yeah, thanks, man. I was good. I got it. He asked if I needed any help on the webcam, and that was all good. It was just a battery fuck up. So we've good. Yeah. Appreciate that. Okay. Vinny's a badass. Vinny C.
I showed him all my wiener while you were gone. So.
What's I think about that pimply wiener?
Everyone's fulfilled. They're all full.
Hey, that's so good. That's so nice.
Oh, shit. Yeah. By the way, one problem I do have with the movie is when that chick is laying, like the chick in Themyscira is laying with the horse on top of her. Why couldn't Mama Wonder Woman just pick up the fucking horse? Like, she's got super strength.
Because she wanted that horse to race in Kentucky Derby next year.
Sorry, but I'm tired. I'm not going to pick this, but I love you and goodbye.
But you know what? I did like that Themyscira scene, and I'll be honest. I'm not I've never been a massive fan of the Wonder Woman character. It's not a character made for me, which is fine, but it's not. I mean, I like her, she's cool, but that reshoot that Zack Snyder did with the Mascaria, god damn, it was fucking badass, dude. It reminded me of like them hoes be fucking ready to whoop ass like Gerard Butler. Like they were trained by Gerard Butler in Sparta. Because it's like she's like, I will bathe in your fear, and she's like, Amazon, show them your fear. She's like, we have no fear.
They were like your boys when you get in a fight in high school. They're like, you ain't got no fucking fears.
Yeah, dude. I was like, it was like a fucking Cobra Kai moment. It was cool shit though, man. I gotta be like honest. Like that was some badass shit. Yeah, it was great. That extended moment was really good. And you just can't put into words how amazing it was. I really think the moment that actually leading up to that moment when Cyborg is talking to them about the mother boxes, and they're all gathered around the mother boxes, and they're like, are you guys thinking the same thing I'm thinking? And like, I'm not gonna say it. And then the mother box visualizes Superman coming back to life. It was fucking amazing. And then it was a really cool moment. And again, it just shows you, man, how much was it is.
Oh, that
fucking Warner Brothers.
I'm struggling to come up with like all the things that we haven't covered yet, but I did just think of one. We were talking about the Flash earlier when all the shit's going down and all the things are happening, and Cyborg's waiting on. He's like, "Come on, Barry, fuck!" You know, he's fisting the fucking mother boxes, but the mother boxes are doing what he wants it to do, and they're waiting on the Flash, and like Flash is
like you're hitting that G spot, but she's not reacting. You're like, I've read about this. This is supposed to be your G spot.
I can't get any big. But he's and it's like, I'm trying, goddammit. But when Barry gets hurt, the way that and you know what, I'll be completely honest with you guys. Idris Elba, not fucking Elba. What's his name?
Ray Fisher?
No, the actor that plays Flash.
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller. I'm not that big of a fan of him. Like I think he's fine. But the whole Flash with this thing, it's not like the way I would have done the armor. It's very mechanical, and it seems weirdly slow. Like the
it looks
way
it kind of looks like the Injustice armor.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I fucking love this movie, but that's always been a choice that I've never been like wowed by. And him as an actor too, like it's fine. I've just never been like really interested in it. It's not my favorite thing. But either way, what I will say is when he gets hurt, though, what I really did respect that he did is when he gets hurt and he looks down and he's like, "I'm trying, just give me a second. I need my fucking breath."
Yeah, I love that.
That acting performance in that which by the way wasn't in the original cut, of course.
Yeah.
But that acting moment that he had right there, where he was really fucking scared and he was in over his head and he was hurt really badly and he didn't know if he was going to heal and everybody was counting on him. It was a really touching scene, and like you felt like you were watching a kid having to try to save the world because he was scared. And like awesome.
I like that scene a lot. And yeah, and the act, well, I liked that one movie that he was in, Flowers on a Wall. I don't know.
Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Perks of Being a Wallflower. I thought he was really excellent in that movie.
It was.
I thought he was great, and I liked him as Barry Allen. I know a lot of people wanted that kid from the WB to be the Flash. He's all right. I don't know. Yeah. He's not bad. But I mean, I'm glad they went with Ezra Miller. But the acting, that moment, I actually was a little teary-eyed about that, because he was like, he's trying and he knows he might die. I mean, that was a brutal fucking wound, and the fact that he's not saying like, he's just saying like, "Oh, I got the wind knocked out of me," and like a whole fucking side of his gut, the chunk of his side is gone.
Yeah,
which is fatal in a lot of instances. But he's gonna press on because he knows the team needs him. Is great. It was a wonderful scene. It really was. It showcased his acting ability really well, and I liked it. And then it leads into the moment when Superman shows back up.
Oh fuck!
Heads and tails different than Joss Whedon, I don't know, just spraying his load everywhere and be like, "This is the way that we do Marvel."
When he was like not impressed, dude, I was literally cheering.
He drops right behind Cyborg, and then the axe comes down. He's fucking like, whatever. That hurt worse than I don't know. That hurts worse. I'm sorry. That hurt less than when my girlfriend broke up with me. I was trying to come up with something and nothing stuck. But yeah, and then he uses his freeze breath and breaks the fucking axe.
Sick, dude.
And then whoops his ass constantly, and it's way better than Joss Whedon because Steppenwolf is still a threat.
Fuck you.
But you see the teamwork. And then you get the decapitation by Wonder Woman. God damn, it's sexy as fuck, and I like it. It's fire. And then you get that moment where Darkseid is just like kind of staring at him. He's like, "You hurt my cousin. I'm coming to your house." And then Superman's
this
like,
"Motherfucker, for real."
Yeah, he's like, yeah, well, you know what? I'm waiting on that with that natural light. Yeah, well, you froze for a second. I froze or whatever. But yeah, dude, the stare down between Darkseid and Superman and the Justice League was fucking incredible. So much better than what we got, and we finally got what we deserved. But yeah, dude, that was a great scene. That moment was just really, really it's hard to explain, man, because it's like when you literally see the Justice League staring down Darkseid, and then he's like, "We'll use the old ways." When he's talking to Desaad and that one motherfucker that looks like he surfboards all day, the human guy. I know who that guy is. I just can't remember his name. Dude, God damn! It just makes you so mad, dude, that we had to wait all these years to get it.
Yeah. It's true, dude. And then, by the way, I'm going to start using we will use the old ways like all the time in my life. Like every time I try to do something outside that I think I can do myself. And
by the way, I also want to
like,
point out, well, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, well, my wife's like, no, we should just pay someone to do that. And I'm like, no, I can do it. I can figure it out. And then like, I can't because I don't have the tool for it. I'll just stand up strongly and be like, we will use the old ways. We will call Roto-Rooter
That's a good one.
to come
That's
and do this shit.
Yeah, or like if Netflix, HBO Max, Hulu, and all the other streaming services go down, they're like, we don't have anything to watch. We will use the old ways.
Pull out a
Pick
DVD.
a movie. Pick a movie. Yeah, dude, and also a really touching scene, and I really did love this scene a lot too. The Ray Fisher moment when he enters into the mother box's consciousness or whatever, and he's gonna separate them, and she's like, my broken boy, and he's like, I'm not broken and I'm not alone. Like, I was like, fuck, dude, that was so good. That was a really good moment. That was a really touching moment because, you know, Victor at that point he was a broken guy. He didn't, you know, feel like his gifts were worth shit, like, or gifts, what as he called them. And him to say, I'm not broken and I'm not alone. Like, it was a unity moment. And then he's like fucking separating them.
Yeah.
It was so good. The acting is off the fucking charts. Amazing.
And again, dude, they went through this thing with a fucking scalpel and they took out every emotional goddamn moment. They really fucking did. When Cyborg's dad dies, completely different scene than it was before. It went the scene afterwards where Cyborg,
and he sacrificed himself for a reason.
Exactly. And when Cyborg's staring off into space and Aquaman's like, you know, we're asking a kid who just lost his dad to fucking save the universe.
I love that.
Like,
I love that.
All just little tiny moments, man. Like little 30-second, 10-second like lines. That's the only reason I ever go when I look at this and I go like, a fucking 5-year-old would realize that is important to the goddamn movie. A 5-year-old would. So if you're taking it out, then you got to be doing it on purpose.
Yeah, or just, you know, someone blew alcohol in your anus and you're trying to recover from it the next morning.
Been butt chugging all night.
Yeah, you've been butt chugging all night. But, you know, also you're looking at, well, even Aquaman. Yeah, exactly. Aquaman, where he's like, you know, he just lost his father. He's not the dude brah guy anymore. Like, he actually gives a fuck. And I like that when it looks, the camera's on him and he's looking over at Victor when he's like, I couldn't save my dad. And then you hear Flash say, oh my God. And then he looks over, like you could see the concern on Momoa's face, like him portraying Aquaman. He's like, his dad would still be alive if we hadn't done that. I love, like, the whole moment was great. And then when it, you know, skip ahead a little bit and Aquaman is talking to the Flash and he's like, we're asking a kid to, you know, take on these ancient fucking things who just lost his father. And he's like, and then the Flash says, I thought you didn't care. And he's like, I never said that.
Yeah.
I mean, can we say 100% that's way fucking better than the lasso of truth scene on Joss Whedon when he's sitting on it? And he's like, I think we're all going to die, but I have a lot of things I want to do. I mean, one day I want to surf in Malibu. Like, it's
I will say
stupid.
that was a funny scene. I did like that scene.
Well, I mean, but it was comparative.
Yeah.
like, no, fuck that scene.
Yeah.
Give me the other scenes that built Aquaman and that as an actual character.
I do agree with that. Yeah. TYIE, thank you, says, I would like to see y'all do a Cowboy Bebop review if you're interested. I got to tell you, man, someone sent us that in an unboxing of the first season.
You watched it yet?
No, I have not. I cannot do anime. My 11-year-old daughter's into anime. I've tried. I'm just like, can't like fantasy worlds. Like, I know we're talking about a superhero movie right now, but when you get deeper than that in fantasy worlds,
You know why that is, Mike?
then
Because
animated
you're not as advanced as us fantasy nerds.
I must not be. You should fucking watch and review it then, Jay.
I don't
Watch
do
fucking
anime
Cowboy
either.
Bebop.
I don't do anime either. So I'm the same way. The closest to anime I ever came was Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. That was the closest I ever came to anime. But yeah, speaking of which, I really do. I appreciate all the character arcs, and I love that the care, dude. The care that Zack Snyder showed each individual plot line as they unfolded was amazing. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people are gonna say, like, well, you had 4 hours to do it. I know, but even in 2.5 hours, I think he could have done a better job than Whedon did.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, dude, how many hour-and-a-half long movies do we watch and we're fucking bored through? You know, how many hour-and-a-half movies, like especially screeners and stuff that we watch to see if we want to do a review for a movie, and we'll watch it and you're like 20 minutes in, you're like, God damn, man. This was 4 hours fucking long, and I watched it twice, and I did not bat an eye either goddamn time.
By the way, JT Customs, I'm going to answer your question. Yes, Ryan Choi or Ryan Cho, I can't remember. I think it's Cho. The Atom. Amazing. I loved it. And he was completely cut out of the movie, which is I cannot dude, it's Atom. It's fucking the Atom. A badass fucking character. I love it. I love the inclusion.
As fuck.
I love the inclusion of him. He's a badass superhero. I like the Atom a lot. And by the way, just to answer the question, because I know it's come up, he would whoop the fuck out of Ant-Man. I like Ant-Man a lot. He would whoop the fuck out of Ant-Man. This motherfucker can shrink down on, like, in a way that Ant-Man can't do. Like, this guy, his name's the Atom for a reason. I love that scene. And I love the fact that they named him. And again, you know, Zack Snyder had plans for the Atom. Like, they apparently were going to take place. The movie was going to take place. I don't know if it was in China or Japan. The entire movie was going to be set there. So Zack Snyder definitely had plans to have an Atom movie, which would have been amazing. I mean, he's a great character. I love that character. So definitely.
Yeah. Austin says, young Jim Carrey as the Flash, just pantsing parademons and riding Boner Lord on Steppenwolf's forehead. Hey there, hi there, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. I love you. That's fucking great, dude. I love it. Yeah, I'll say this about the Flash, man. Even though it's clearly better in this movie than it was before, I feel like we have yet to see Grant Gustin in the CW Flash included, Ezra Miller in this Flash included. I feel like we're yet to see the Flash on screen that levels up to the animated DC movies Flash that we get. Like, I haven't seen a Flash that I really love on screen yet. I just haven't.
You know, it's weird for me. The Flash that I really did love a lot, and I know it's corny, and I get it. But the early 90s pilot, they made it into a movie. The Flash in 1990 or 1991, that dude was amazing. That suit looked fucking awesome. And I know it was corny in 1991, but he plays Grant Gustin's dad in the Flash WB series. He was the original Flash. Yeah. In the early 90s, that guy, and the fact that he was an older dude, and that's, dude, it looked fucking awesome. But yeah, I don't mind Ezra Miller. I like, if they were gonna go with Ezra Miller as their future Flash, I'd be fine. Grant Gustin is fine. I don't mind Grant Gustin. But I would like to move away. Like, could you have cast an older, more mature Barry Allen? Yes, and it would have been fine. But Grant Gustin looks like he barely got out of fifth period in sophomore year, and he's still trying to figure out where his classes are. I don't want that young of a Barry Allen. Ezra Miller is a young looking guy, but he looks like he just looks like he's been through more shit than Grant Gustin. And having Grant Gustin on if he was put in the role of the Flash, I wouldn't buy it. I'm like, I don't know. Because I will agree 100%. You're going to throw Green Arrow in, definitely use that dude from Arrow. I can't remember his name. Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell, yeah.
Stephen Amell, yeah. Use that dude. Like, that dude.
Great Arrow.
Yeah, great guy. But
And I feel like we've covered everything from the movie. Again, if you guys don't know, it's a 10 for both of us. We both fucking loved it. We just talked. It's probably in our top 5 superhero movies of all time. We're not going to go as far as crazy to say it's the best superhero movie of all time, but if you think that, that's cool too. But it's top 5 for me, I feel like. But that being said, let's talk real quick at the end of the stream here about what should happen. Forget we talked about, if you're just now joining us, we talked about in the first hour what Warner Brothers said and how fucking stupid it is. And all the stuff that's going on currently. But let's talk about this for a second. What should they do? Okay, if we're in control right now of this, and we both agree that we should restore the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
We should. After this, there's no question. That's the fucking clear, goddamn obvious choice. You got 2 brain cells. That's what should happen. Even if you want to do your outside movies, you should also have the Snyderverse. My opinion is this, dude. I think that if you can get it to happen, and this is a big if, but if you can get Ben Affleck, and the only way you get Ben Affleck is if Warner Brothers comes out and says we're giving full capacity to the Snyderverse. We're gonna let them have what they want. We're gonna lock up Snyder. We're gonna lock him up. We're gonna pay him whatever we got to do. We're gonna let him do whatever he needs to do, and then he has creative control. Then maybe you get Ben Affleck back. What I think is a 3-step process. I think number 1 thing that has to happen is clearly Justice League 2. At the end of the Snyder Cut, you've got us all in the Knightmare verse. Superman's gone bad. He's teamed up with Darkseid in the anti-life equation. Lois is dead. Arthur Curry is dead. They're so desperate they've teamed up with Joker and Deathstroke. All that stuff's happening, right? But so Justice League 2 needs to explain that. It needs to explain the arc that they talked about, how we got this way, how Lois Lane died, how Superman went bad, all that stuff like that. I think you need a Justice League 2. Justice League 3, I think, is obviously going to be that movie. I think that end scene, that epilogue, is the opening to Justice League 3 in my mind. So that would be that. Justice League 3 would be Justice League 3, the Knightmare sequence played out in its entirety. And the only third thing I think you really need to make that triumvirate work is a Batman HBO Max series with Ben Affleck in it. In that series, you tell the Harley Quinn story, as we talked about. You tell the Joker story about him killing Batman, as we talked about. And you tell the Deathstroke series. You do those three things, and I think that you not only restore the Snyderverse, you bring this whole thing to a culminating point, and you clean it up, and it's just perfect. That's my
I think I like all those ideas. I do. I want to have sex with them. I think that the first thing that, if I were in charge of WB and I had the creative control to do anything, I delete Joss Whedon's Justice League right away. It didn't happen. I actually make that the Elsewhere movie. The Zack Snyder Justice League is canon in my eyes. From there, I make Flashpoint. And when I make Flashpoint, we go from the ending of Zack Snyder's Justice League, where he's happy, he's free, and he had just got the job at the crime lab, but something gets in his crawdaddies, and he's like, I tampered with time once, and nothing really bad happened because I reversed time to stop the mother boxes from uniting. So maybe I can fix it. He goes back in time to save his mother, to show that his father didn't kill his mom. He comes back to our world, to our time. Everything's different. Now, again, you can build this movie up in any which way you want.
So
it could be
I don't mean to cut you off there, but the chat mentioned, what I meant to say was, you would also have one of the biggest storylines of the Batman series would be Joker killing Robin. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just
yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
Anyway, he comes back in time to our time, and he's fucked up things in the past. He's changed things that he thinks is for the better, and then as time progresses, and us that know the Flash's Flashpoint, he doesn't have his powers. He goes back and fixes it again, but then you get into the Nightmare sequence. Well, I think you should start the Nightmare sequence in the Flashpoint toward the end of the movie. I know there was a lot of interest. Jeffrey Dean Morgan had actually had interest to come back to be the more killer Batman, the one that uses guns and shit from the Flashpoint movie. You could even throw that in there if you wanted to, but the Flash jumps around and he tries to fix things, and then you get into the Nightmare sequence, and that leads you into Justice League 2. And then in Justice League 2, you pick up with Olderberry, and you kind of tell the story about the Joker and Harley Quinn, and you could put all that in a fucking movie. Now you've got the apocalyptic version in Justice League 2, and then in Justice League 3 they kind of set things right and they go from there. Yeah, dude, that would be an amazing epic journey. And you could even tie in Aquaman 2, Wonder Woman 3, or whatever, Man of Steel 2. It could all tie into that.
Yeah.
That could all tie into that moment, where I think that JL3 would be the culmination of them resolving the issue of the Knightmare sequence and finally setting. Now, also, and it makes logistically it makes sense, because if Ben Affleck doesn't want to come back, Henry Cavill doesn't want to come back, and we're in the future now, right? Gal Gadot may not want to come back. Yada yada. What you do is with Flashpoint, you can reset the timelines, recast the characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now they're the same characters, but they're slightly different. Yeah. That's it. I mean, that's how you do it.
Yeah, you use Flashpoint to fucking patch any holes that you got to patch. You just do it that way. The only worry I have about that is that movie's supposed to come out in 2022, I believe. I think it's already written. Andy Machetti's already working on it.
Yeah,
I don't think they expected the Snyder Cut to be so goddamn.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Warner Brothers at any point can come back and they can give more time, and they could delete the Joss Whedon bullshit, and then like, all right, well, here's what we want to do. And then rehire Zack Snyder to have the vision to go forward from there, and then end his run of Justice League 2 and 3 and Man of Steel 2, which I think that everybody wants to see.
Right. Yeah.
So
exactly.
I don't know. I mean, it is. I mean, there's so many fun things you could do right now.
Yeah.
With the universe.
But you're right. The Flashpoint Paradox storyline could open up whatever you need to do. You could patch any holes you need to do. I totally agree with that. Sugar Shane says Batman movie directed by Snyder without a Batman origin story. We've seen that 100 times. Awesome. And also an on-screen death of Robin would be amazing. Sorry, Robin fan, but also introduce Nightwing. Book it. Totally fucking agree.
Yeah, I love that, dude. I love that. Because
totally fucking agree.
One of the best Batman comic books ever was Death in the Family.
Yep.
And if you see Jason Todd like getting his ass fucking beat like he owes money to the cable company by Joker with the crowbar, and then he fucking dies, and then you have Batman. There's this one image of Death in the Family where Batman is carrying on a pile of rubble. He's carrying the lifeless corpse of Jason Todd in the Robin uniform, and he's got his head down and it's all sunken in. Can I have that flesh? And that motivates him to a level of fucking like, I gotta kill Joker. Yeah, dude. Yeah, and then having Dick Grayson show up as Nightwing, because if you take place right, it would be cool, because Jason Todd was the second Robin after Dick Grayson, so it would be after Dick Grayson has already established himself as a independent crime fighter, taking the alias of Nightwing. He's already doing his own thing, but then you have Jason Todd getting killed, and then having the original Grayson coming back into the fold as Nightwing and be like, it's not your fault, Bruce. I mean,
yeah. It ties, dude, it gives you the perfect storyline for later on. Like, if you want to continue this, and even if you want to continue without Zack Snyder, you do the Ben Affleck HBO series, HBO Max series, right? You tell the story of Joker killing Robin. You give that backstory before you go into Snyder's 2 and 3, but also you plant eggs so that it doesn't have to be Snyder, but you've planted the egg for Nightwing. You know what that fucking sounds like? That sounds like some of the genius shit that Marvel did setting up their universes before. And if you're so goddamn desperate to be Marvel, why not fucking do that? Why not do that?
Skate Tune says he don't die though. He comes back as Red Hood. I know that, man. I know he comes back as Red Hood. That's a whole fucking
movie, dude.
I know that's a whole movie. But when you were reading it back in the day, you didn't know they were going to bring him back. The reason why that even happened was that DC understood there was a lot of flack against their version of Robin with Jason Todd. A lot of fans didn't like him, so they put it to a vote. There was a moment in the comic books where Jason Todd was helpless, and they said, if you want Jason Todd to live, write in or call this number. If you want Jason Todd to die, call this number. Fans called the number for him to die. It was later on they were like, hey, you know what? We could play around with this idea and have him come back as Red Hood. Yeah. That was way later on, but yeah, I get what you're saying. But it'd be cool.
you're setting up a universe that 10 years down the line you can make a Red Hood movie and you can make a trilogy out of it and you can make a fucking $1 billion. You know, it's like there's so many things they could be doing. They are trying to copy the wrong parts of Marvel and not the right parts of Marvel, which is you tell your stories, you tell your dark stories, you do something different, you do things R-rated.
By the way, I want to point this out.
The storylines.
Darkseid whooped the fuck out of Thanos every day of the week, straight up.
No doubt.
First off, and you know, Thanos was. I argued with my brother about this, but the reality is Darkseid came first. Marvel copied Darkseid. Darkseid came out in 1971. Thanos came out in an Iron Man issue in 1973. And they've already proven. I watched some show, the Infinity Gauntlet. Even if Thanos had the Infinity Gauntlet and went into the DC universe, it doesn't work. Darkseid is literally in a fifth dimension. He's the actual true entity of Darkseid. You can't even comprehend. He would fuck Thanos up every which way.
And he looks cooler too. Like, I love Josh Brolin, but Darkseid looks cooler. He's just Darkseid.
By the way, I'm a fan of Thanos as well. I'm just saying, like, straight up, like, how when they fight the Omega beams, get out of here.
Yeah, shout out to Apocalypse from the X-Men, by the way. He got dicked over too. Did not look as cool as he could have. Jacob Pruitt, have the Flash's reason that pushes him to go back in Flashpoint be his father being murdered in prison, sending him off the deep end. That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. That's a good. I think that honestly, they did a pretty good job with that. And again, I do like the Flash WB series. I watched one with Grant Gustin. They were talking about family or whatever. He walks outside, and they were talking about, you know, fathers or whatnot, and he just gets this crawl daddy up his butthole, and he just starts racing back in time to save his mom. And I kind of dug that. I was like, yeah, it just like, you know,
I mean, you would.
Yeah,
right?
it's just like you've held back all these years and you've not done anything, but there was just one conversation that happened at Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner or something, and it just gets in your brain. You're like, why the fuck not? And it actually makes sense with Ezra Miller's Flash because, like I mentioned, he already tampered with time twice.
Yep.
Bring back Superman and to fucking prevent the mother boxes from uniting, and nothing bad happens. So in his brain, he's like
thinking,
right. So he's already like like actualizing or be like, hey man, nothing bad's gonna happen if I do this one tiny thing. So
yeah. Hey, shout out to shout out to all those bracket watchers tonight as we've been talking tonight.
JT Custom says CW. Yeah, I'm sorry, the CW, not the WB anymore. CW.
It always says say. Alabama beat the fuck out of Maryland. Kansas is getting their ass whooped by USC at halftime. So if you had Kansas, you're fucked there. And UCLA won. But no, man, I think that just about covers it.
Colin McCormick says that was the start of Flashpoint, Jay. I know in the CW series it was, and I'm saying in the Ezra Miller version, if something similar happens to him, or he has a dream or something, I don't fucking know, and he wakes up one morning and he's like, you know what? I got the ability to change fucking time, and I did it twice with Batman and Superman, and nothing bad happened. Everything is still normal. Why the fuck won't I just do it?
Yeah, he hasn't done it yet in this storyline, this version of the Flash.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's one of those things where you wake up, you're like, I can do this stuff. Why am I not doing it? And then he just starts taking off running. I don't know.
Yeah. End of the day, though, Zack Snyders Justice League is a fucking 10 out of 10. And even if you don't think it's a 10, like Jay and I do, it is a worldwide success. It is fucking, even Rotten Tomatoes has bended the goddamn knee. They've said, yes, it is so. And we will do it the old ways.
It's crazy. For a while, I don't know. I'm sure it's not the same anymore. But the Justice League soundtrack, Zack Snyder's Justice League soundtrack, was #1 on Spotify. It was literally beating what's that host
Justin
name?
Bieber.
The blonde hair. That
Justin Bieber.
Kanye said, "Nah, this award ain't yours."
Oh, Taylor Swift.
It was beating Taylor Swift and all those other shitty fucking rappers. It was #1. It was #1, dude. I mean, maybe it only lasted for 25 minutes or 35 minutes, but the fact that was #1 on Spotify,
it's a great
God
soundtrack.
damn.
It's a great soundtrack. And dude, like, I'm telling you, like, my last thought is this. My last absolute thought is this. Is, well, #1, thank all you guys, because we had an awesome crowd in here tonight.
So many
especially
people
for a Monday night. So fucking cool. Super chats have been amazing. The crowd has been amazing. You guys are fucking cool. It's so cool sitting here and talk about a movie for 3 hours with you guys. We're so lucky that you guys care enough to come and hear us talk shit.
Yeah.
Very fucking thankful for all of you. But my last parting thought of all this is that, you know, it's a fucking huge success and it's awesome. And if WB cannot fucking see what's right in front of their goddamn faces, like literally the stack of fucking money that Cyborg built for that waitress is in front of their faces 1,000 times more, and it's right there. Yeah. And if they're too stupid to fucking take them, then you take it, then you know what, fuck it. If you guys are too stupid to restore the Snyderverse and you guys want to go do some other shit, you're gonna get what's coming to you.
You know,
sorry,
Korjai, thank you so much. Korjai is a badass. He's been around for a long time. Korjai Taylor says, is this Snyder's best film? Yes. 100%. I think so. I think this is his opus. I think this is
it's omnibus.
This is his masterpiece.
Yeah.
He got to do everything he wanted to do with it. Second best to me is probably either it's 300 and then it's Dawn of the Dead and we work our way down. But Man of Steel, all that shit. But yeah, dude, without a doubt, this is Zack Snyder's greatest piece of work he's ever done.
I think so too. I think so too. And again, like last time I'll say it, man, is fuck, Warner Brothers, you have everything that you've ever wanted staring you in the face right now. And if you decide not to take it, you're a bunch of fucking idiots. I hope to God that they don't wait for the fans to make it happen this time. I know, and I said this earlier, but for those of you who weren't here, everyone's worried, oh, God, the fans are going to be obnoxious with their hashtag restore the Snyder Cut or do the Snyder Cut. Now it's going to be hashtag restore the... If WB had any fucking brains in that company whatsoever, they would jump ahead of it. They wouldn't let the fans force it, and they would take the reins of what they have going for them, and they would fucking make these movies happen. And if they don't, God be with you. That's it.
Well, I want to throw out one thing. I guess someone's getting a little mad. They're like, "Oh my God, it's not Zack Snyder's greatest film. What the fuck? Oh my God!" If you like Watchmen and his other movies, that's fine, dude. But the fact is, he didn't get the amount of time that he's able to have in like what he had in this movie, and he's actually able to develop plot and characters and backstory in the way that he did. So you're wrong as fuck.
Oh no,
I like the Watchmen too. I like the Watchmen too, and yeah, you're right. 300 Watchmen, I get it, but at the same time, don't get all salty about it, my bro. Anyway,
look, it's not if you don't think it's the best, let's say it's my favorite Zack Snyder film. I'll say that it's my favorite.
Well, I mean, I think it's fact beyond fact. But anyway, the point being is like, I mean, if you want to argue Watchmen with me too, I know that comic pretty well too. We can do that too. But anyway, yeah, dude, thank you guys so much for joining us. We've had a great fucking time. You guys did pour out the support. I loved it.
I agree with Ken. Maybe WB doesn't like money. They just don't like money.
No, well,
one of those.
Yeah, that could be fucking true. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm glad that it happened. We're all happy and excited that our Zack Snyder fans and fans of Justice League and DC were very happy and excited that this happened. So, we're gonna bounce off of that fucking note.
Good night to all. The Snyder Cut has risen, and it is glorious.
Goodbye, child. Goodbye.
It is. Hey, I was going to say let's end this right at 3 hours, but I missed it. My bad. Hey, we love you guys. Thank you all so much. Everybody for taking the time to watch us tonight. It's been a fucking fun night. We'll see you guys Friday night. We do not have a stream Wednesday, but we will have videos up through the week. We love you. Thanks for hanging out.